but I still came over. I couldn't let you pass me by. Yeah. You're not a star, you're a supernova. So bright I didn't close my eyes. Girl, the melody from your lips gives me ecstasy when we kiss. Baby, don't be scared, 10 toes in this scene. Let's both take a chance on this wish. I fly you out and take you any place you wanna go. And girl, I know your body, even if my eyes are closed. Let's dance it to forever, promise I need nothing more. So what are we waiting for? Yeah. Shy girl, you a fly girl. Anything for you, call you my girl. Lost in your love, got me high, girl. Paradise is ours, you and I, girl. Sky blue, water clear. Ditched on my planes just to be here. Dropped on my things just to be near you. Over and over again. Yes, man, I go try you. Never know they never wife you. Yeah. Been on my mind too. Be the one I give my time to. And it's all true. There ain't nothing that I won't do. Yeah. It's all about you. But as long as you're comfortable, oh baby. I fly you out and take you any place you wanna go. And girl, I know your body, even if my eyes are closed. Let's dance it to forever, promise I need nothing more. So what are we waiting for? Yeah. I fly you out and take you any place you wanna go. And girl, I know your body, even if my eyes are closed. Let's dance it to forever, promise I need nothing more. So what are we waiting for? Would you dance with me and make this eternal summer? Will you stay with me and make this eternal summer?
I just like to say for the record, Joe's a dick.
I think we should all respect each other's newfound professions.
Whatever, if that's what you want to call it.
No, actually, I will say I've heard Keenan's beats, and he actually does have taste with what he's doing.
Ladies and gentlemen, next week we'll have
nuts.
one of Keenan's
Fuck it. Fuck
songs open the pod.
No, it's too late.
It's gonna be like
Welcome one. Welcome all to episode 35 of
I
the None
think
of Our
we're-
Business pod. Shut the fuck
I'm
up.
gonna talk over
Let me
you.
fucking finish my intro.
You know, the problem is there's so much funny shit that happens before the podcast
I know you guys.
that nobody ever has access
All right.
to.
I'll be quiet for Joe's sake.
Welcome to episode 35 of the None of Our Business podcast. We are your gracious hosts,
Hello,
Philly
Felipe.
fanatic, philosophy, philanthropy.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Now we owe Disney
We
like
got
$1 million
Keenan.
bucks.
C. Duncan,
Inconceivable.
CNN Dunkaroos, K9,
See notice.
C. Notice,
See these nuts.
Section
C4.
9, C4. And I'm Joe.
Because my dick's explosive.
Average,
Hey, I like
average,
that.
average Joe.
I'm the average Joe. I'm just a regular guy doing regular things.
Morning cup of Joe. Thanks for bringing that back. I saw it in the
Yeah,
episode.
I've been doing them here and there, you know, whenever I find the time. You guys just heard Ocean by Lexx Black.
That's right.
Lexx Black.
Shout out.
Shout out to Lexx Black.
Put-
Shout out
put-
to the whole
Lexington.
AMP squad.
AMP.
Mo. Yeah. So the Lexx Black just released this track a couple of days ago. I listened to it. He'd been like posting little previews like consistently for
How
the
did you
last
two meet?
couple months. They're actually Mo's actually one of he's a fan of the pod. He's a friend of the pod.
No, I meant like before the pod. You know him before the pod, or did he
No,
find?
through
He found us
Instagram,
out
yeah.
It's the
from the
power
pod.
of Instagrams.
Wow,
It's the power
thank
of
you,
IG,
sir.
baby. It's the power of IG.
Awesome.
Shout out to Mo.
Yeah, so they had been teasing this track, and I was like, the tease it just has vocals.
It's just the
It's
tip.
just it's just an acapella, but the acapella sounded phenomenal. I was like, yo, what is this?
It's that
This
little
is about to be
rim around the
fucking
tip of the
amazing.
penis where it like before
little
it folds
rim.
back.
Wait,
you know
wait,
when you
right
get
before you
circumcised,
pull it all the way back.
Yeah,
If you're uncircumcised,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
it. I know it.
Yeah.
I know it well.
yeah,
Yeah.
before it gets veiny.
Sometimes you play with it, you know.
I don't think
You
they're
ever-
gonna want their song
I know,
associated
exactly.
with penis. I think we need to reconsider.
summer. No, but
You ever
yeah.
put your hand around it and look at it, and it just looks like
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, shout out.
Sorry,
to,
man.
It's like I'm
Good.
running a podcast with two 12-year-olds.
Pretty much. Yay
Um,
us.
Yeah,
Just started playing with their shit.
But thank you for listening and promoting some music, and it'll be awesome.
absolutely.
When you do some live shows, you should let us know so we
Yeah.
can say it.
How come nobody ever
Definitely.
talks about the struggle of like being a teenage boy in class with hard-ons that you can't control? And you got to sit there and walk through the hallways like everything's okay.
just
Let's
a
do it
raging
now.
boner.
I don't
just
think
like-
I've ever had that. Like where the
You ever
uncomfortable.
had a raging boner in class.
I've had a
Dude,
raging
Fuck.
boner in class, but I just handle it while I'm there. That's why I wear like baggy shirts.
Wait,
You are
what?
fucking epic.
Wait,
I
wait,
love
what? You
that.
just whacked off
So,
in the middle of class?
The reason why the books are so thick is you can cut a hole in it.
Oh my god, you sick.
That's why you
fuck.
put the backpack in your lap.
You sick son of a bitch. I like what you're doing.
Did you guys ever do anything mean to anyone in middle school?
I didn't do anything in middle school. I was a fucking nerd.
I'm sure you did.
You never did anything
something.
mean to someone?
in middle school?
No. Oh, well, okay, there was nope, not mean.
He said not about to admit to that.
No, it was a retaliation. So it was somebody constantly making fun of me, and then I fought back. So it's not me. It's not
Like, what
nothing
you
I
like,
ever
you turned
did.
around and swung on him?
I tried to choke them out,
Okay,
but I
okay.
never
Respect.
did it maliciously. Like
Right.
I'm intent to.
You were like, stop fucking with me.
exactly.
Yeah.
So to answer the question, no, I haven't.
Damn.
But because I
It was
worked.
in retaliation. You're
Yeah.
defending
So
yourself,
so
yeah.
I am literally what my persona is that quiet, nerdy, by himself,
You
person.
didn't know Joe in middle school?
But
I
you're
did.
never alone.
I did. Because we talked about. See, it's funny because I don't even remember
'Cause Joe was a nerd
what
too,
our
but he just passed
conversations
it off
were.
like he wasn't. He still is.
So
Yeah, he was the cool kid. He
quote,
was the
unquote.
what's shit? Stranger Things. What's his name?
The one that takes the bat to people? The one with
what's
the big ass haircut?
Is it the bit? No. Well, he
Pompadour.
played the
Don't
sort of
slam the,
pop.
table, Keenan. It's gonna
My
hit
bad.
the microphones.
The
man.
popular kid in
The
class.
pop. Okay, sorry.
I'm
the
fucking
pop-
with you.
No, the popular kid, and then now he's friends with like Justin. and
Yeah,
stuff like
what's
that.
his name? Dusty.
Dusty.
Dusty. I
What
can't
is his
remember
name?
That was
but-
Joe basically there.
But
Let's
yeah,
just get
because
to
he
the
was
point.
super. He was super
Let's
cool.
get to the fucking point.
But it was
Keenan.
like, ah, you suck these nuts.
That was me.
Well, you were super cool, but you were super nerdy.
Oh,
That's how he
yeah.
turned out. He
Oh, yeah,
became
yeah,
like
yeah.
really a nerdy
Yeah,
guy,
he
and he
became
was
a really
nerd the
nerdy
whole
guy.
time.
Yeah.
Nobody
Okay.
just didn't know about it.
You just
Yeah.
brought out Joe's inner nerd.
I am. Hey, you know what though? I'm proud of that. I'm proud
You
of.
ever done something mean, Joe?
Of course, I've done many mean things. My life is just a sequence of a lot of mean things
That would
I get
surprise
away
me.
with.
And I'm usually at the small end. of
Okay,
that.
okay. What is the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you in middle school?
In middle school,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's. Oh yeah, I got I got slapped in the face from a girl, and my glasses fell off because I was trying to check her, because I was just dicking around. We were all just playing around. So back in the day, you would like try to make somebody flinch.
Oh yeah.
So I did that, and then she went with like she like went
shit,
all the
her
way back,
strength, with all of her
Like,
strength.
You went
Whap.
full force. You was
in
like,
front of like there was like 5 other people and the teacher and everything. And it was just like I don't remember the reaction. I'm pretty sure it was like, oh, but I also don't remember, like I think I shrugged it off like a man, because I don't remember like crying or anything like that. But it was very embarrassing. I was
yeah.
like, holy, it's etched in my brain.
Yeah, yeah. Joe,
I'll never forget that.
anything embarrassing in middle school?
I love women.
No, I was amazing. I was just an amazing human being. No, embarrassing things. Three. I could think of three things that happened
Which
to me
one's
in
the
middle
most?
school. Well, I don't
Or
know.
which is the story that you want to tell the most?
Are they all equally the same?
I think to
embarrassing?
me they're all equally embarrassing
Damn.
because
All right. What's the
What's
they
one
were
of
first
hits.
one?
They were hits of the ego.
What's one of them?
One of them.
This fucking guy.
Okay, Philly. How about you?
No, because I don't know which one I want to tell.
Just
the
say
most.
one of them.
Start
Just
with one.
Say one.
Like
Fucking
start
just
idiot.
open your mouth.
and then
Let
say
words
I
something.
just don't want
out.
to implicate anybody, so I'm trying to think which one
So
can I
leave
say.
the
with
names
it.
out.
Okay.
Yeah, like I did. I
Oh,
didn't tell
yeah.
you who slapped me.
Okay. So
There was a guy or a girl.
Or who I
Yes.
choked out. I didn't
No,
say any
okay.
of that.
I can't remember specifically what order this happened in, but in middle school, my brother Danny, you guys know, friend of the show. So Danny's a year younger than I am. So when we were in middle school, 2 years together, you know?
Mhm.
So there was this girl that I liked, and for whatever reason, like Danny, like I had finally like I asked her out and asked her if she wanted to be my girlfriend or whatever, and she was like, yeah. So I was like all hyped, you know, I was happy and everything, and Danny, like, for whatever reason, he told me something like, oh yeah, she's only with you because she actually wanted to be with me or whatever, or something, or she kissed me or something like that, and I was like, what? I was so heated. I went over it and I broke up with her, and
That very same
she
day.
didn't even know why, and so I broke up with her, and then like I think the next period or the next day, Danny was dating her, and I was like, what?
How does that hit your ego? I thought you meant like something.
Of course, that hits the ego.
I have something similar to that.
But the thing is, Danny never did anything with her.
He
So
basically
kinda-
played
yeah,
you.
He played
Hey,
me.
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yeah,
But-
Mr.
Yeah.
No, I meant like, was there anything that you were
Wow.
like, I'm the shit, and then somebody knocked you down? That's what I thought you meant by your
Oh,
ego.
Something like, no.
Like
well,
it- like it
is.
shot
It's
your
just something-
ego.
It kinda hits the ego a little
because
bit.
he really liked this girl. He was hyped.
Yeah.
No, I meant like you're like, I'm gonna teach this person a lesson, and they actually wound up teaching you the lesson, kind of like that. That's what I thought you meant.
Well, no, I just meant something you thought was
Okay, never
embarrassing.
mind.
Like,
Fuck it.
for
Let's
example, for
continue.
me,
Right.
I was in, I think it was, I went to a lot of middle schools. Hold on. Madrid Middle School in El Monte, and I was in my English class, and I had made a new CD. I just burned a new CD. It had half Green Day, the album that had like
Okay.
it had the Basket Case song and all that, right?
Mm.
Dookie, I think was the name of the album,
Mhm.
and half NSYNC. Problem was, I had a CD player with anti-shock, whatever, but sometimes that CD player would turn on, and in the middle of like of English class as I'm writing, all of a sudden you hear
Oh.
it's gonna be me,
Nice.
and like I'm looking
Was it a
around
CD
because
player?
I didn't but
I
my
didn't-
my headphones were playing
Because
I had those headphones that you wrap over. You remember the Sony
Yeah.
headphones that you wrapped over your
Yeah.
head?
Classic.
So it was just playing really loud, and Mrs. Butler, I still remember that was her name. She looks up and she's like, "What the hell is that?"
Mm.
And everybody's like, "Ooh, in sync" or whatever. I was like, "Oh God!" She was like, "Give me that." She's like, "You mind telling me what this is doing in my class?" And I was like, "I don't know. It's my music."
Damn.
And so I just like grabbed it and I got ran out of class because I was like, "Oh my God, everybody knows I listen to NSYNC." So for me, that was embarrassing.
That's pretty
Damn,
embarrassing.
that's so different. I mean, the styles are very different. I got slapped in the face in front of a bunch of people,
I mean, for me,
and then
that
somebody
was the
played
most
some
embarrassing.
music.
No, I mean,
and then you got Danny just took your girl.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck you guys.
no,
just
I've
kidding.
had bad things. Like there was another time I was in woodshop class in that same school, and everybody was fucking around with like helium. What most people didn't know is
You sucked on helium.
there was another gas tank there that is a different type of gas that if you sneeze, it could blow your fucking head up if you have it in your head, like while you're fucking around. Most people didn't know that. I forget what the name of the gas is, but you can look it up.
So it's in your mouth and you sneeze.
So yeah, so
and then
we use helium to like air to fucking air
Yeah,
pressure
yeah.
to clean off the dust and shit.
yeah.
But there's another one of those tanks there available that we're not supposed to ingest. It does the same thing as helium, where it raises your voice, But the amount of pressure, if that gas were to hit that kind of pressure, could potentially blow your head up. But that's not what happened. I'm just like,
Jesus.
So we're all fucking
Why is
around
that at your high
and we're
school?
all doing the helium thing.
Yeah.
But then like all the boys in the class started like just slapping each other on the back of the head. And I was like, yo, just nobody fuck with me right now. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I don't want to play that. But somebody did hit me, right? Like in the back of the head. And I was like, and sure. And I, you know, I had just started school there. And so after I got hit, I was like, all right, if that's how you want to fucking like play. So I went back up to the kid while he wasn't like chilling just like I was. And I slapped the back of his fucking head. Bah, right? And he was like, oh, all right. And I was like, all right, what, man? You're the one that already hit me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At this point, we're even. And so class gets out and I'm walking out and someone pushes me as I'm walking through the fucking door. Like all kids are coming out into the hallways. This is like seventh grade? Seventh grade, yeah.
Middle school?
Yeah. And so he pushes me and I'm like, fuck. And so I'm like, all right. So I throw down my backpack. But what I didn't know is when I threw my backpack down, the loop of one of the arms, as I was getting ready and I turned around, my shoe stepped into it. So I'm like gearing up to like, all right, let's fucking go. And he swings, I juke. And when I swing, he jukes, but I went all the way around and the loop of the backpack got me and I tripped and fell. And as I fell, I'm like, oh shit. He's already coming down on me. Like I'm getting pounded on. I'm like, oh fuck. Technically I got my ass beat. You know what I mean? And like, I'm like, oh shit. And they're like, all right, break it up. And they take me into the office and I get suspended, not the kid. Yeah, I got suspended. And I was like, what the fuck?
Did you get in any fights on campus? On campus.
Yeah, that wasn't. Oh, on campus?
On
No,
campus.
No.
No, you
man.
did it off campus.
People fought me a lot when I was a kid, man.
I didn't get anywhere near that shit.
Yeah, I got into fights.
That was
all
one
the
of my
fucking
other
time.
embarrassing stories.
I was up in the classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I squared up with some kid. It was like I was like in 8th grade.
Yeah.
And we went to like the back of this building and there was a bunch of us, like 50 kids, you
like
know, like
straight like
they're gonna
TV,
fight,
like
they're gonna
TV, like fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they surround us, just a bunch of fucking kids.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man.
Unbeknownst to me, this kid was a fucking like boxer, like
Oh,
shit.
no.
Yeah, like a fucking champion boxer and shit.
Like fucking
so I'm
Oscar de
coming
la
in here
Hoya
like,
and
yeah, let's
shit.
go. Bah, bah. And I'm like, he hits me like 5 times and I'm done. Like shit.
Oh, man.
It was like, boom. And every time I try to swing, he was just like, boom, boom.
You were
boom.
like, oh shit.
And I was like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah, he knocked me out. He knocked me out.
dude.
My friends had to pick me up. I was all bloody.
Damn.
And we wear school uniforms.
Yeah,
right?
we did.
Right? Remember?
Emerson, yeah.
Yeah.
This was towards the end.
So
we luckily got only 1 year of that.
of it. But my shirt was all bloody.
Mhm.
It was.
Fuck.
They had to carry me. Like,
Damn.
I still have a scar.
Yeah.
From when it happened?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I see it under your lip.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
he boom,
Wow.
banged me, boom, boom, boom.
That must have been a trip to like you thought it was gonna be a fair fight.
Yeah, I
Turns
was
out
like,
he
yeah,
was
let's
trained as a
fuck
fucking
yeah.
fighter.
Yeah.
He was
Could you
juking me and
imagine?
everything?
That's like some
It's funny because like, you know, a couple of years later, like I see him again and it's like, hey, what's up, man? You good? All right?"
Oh,
Just
really?
homies and
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah. It's like, no, I
At
mean, we're
that-
not homies, but
Yeah.
like
No.
it was there like,
Oh, it was little kid
just
shit.
Oh, yeah,
childish.
it's little, yeah.
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 And it was cool. Like
I've
I
seen-
saw him and I was like, yeah,
I don't
let's
think
go
I've
do it.
seen any fights. Damn. I saw a gun once. Gun was
Want to see a dead body?
it was in the front of the campus. It was like in the bushes
What
at
the
Emerson.
fuck?
And there was the gun and the clip.
Oh
there.
shit. Well, you know what? I mean, people really think that the west side of Los Angeles isn't nothing to think about, but that's where
That's where I get my meth.
that's where some gangs are at, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know this, but I was watching a documentary on Edward James Olmos. You know, the
Yeah, American Me. Something like that.
Or the father of Selena in the
Yeah,
Selena
he
movie.
was like almost assassinated.
He's,
Yeah.
Danny
he
Trio.
plays what's his name? In Battlestar Galactica.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I didn't know he was in Blade Runner, man. He was
Bears.
fucking yeah.
Battlestar Galactica.
So not only does he have an illustrious fucking career, like, and is one of the first Latin people ever to achieve the heights that he did, but
Mhm.
he also is like a great humanitarian. But what I didn't know was that he got death threats from the Mexican mafia for making the movie American Me,
Mm.
because it was so true, like, and because the message was we need to get rid of gangs, and that's
then-
when I
and
realized.
there was like that whole the rape scene and all that stuff, and They didn't appreciate that. But Danny Trio talked about it too. And I think he even got involved, like in a way of saying like, don't do anything or something. Like Trio is like mad respectable amongst like across the board.
It's crazy how he started off with like the least known and became the most successful.
Yeah, which shows it is still possible to get into Hollywood even after a crazy life and at an older age.
Yeah.
You know how he started in Hollywood?
Wasn't he he wasn't a bodyguard. No, somebody asked him if he can play a prisoner. And I forgot the name of the movie.
Blood In, Blood Out, right?
It wasn't Blood In, Blood Out.
I forgot the name of it.
He had already worked before that?
He was a boxing consultant.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, it just happened to be that he was a boxer. Somebody he was doing a movie, like he was an extra in a movie.
Yes, and somebody asked him to play like
anybody know any boxing, and he was like, I do. Like I was a champion boxer, and that's how he trained the star of the movie.
I think they asked him to do like an extra,
and then
role.
he became like the villain or something.
Yeah, like they wanted
to the guy. He was like, oh yeah. He trained him and everything. They choreographed the scenes, and that's how he got his start. Like,
and that's when Machete was born.
Yeah, and that's.
I think that's the.
It's something along those lines where he got asked when he was doing something just regular, normal, whatever. But they saw what he looked like and was like, "Oh, can you do this?" And then
he looks like he's just a character, dude.
Yeah, and he has no problem being typecast.
Yeah, no, that's how you fucking succeed, man.
But a lot of actors don't like it. They don't like being typecast. They feel like they're stuck in that role.
Musicians who are like, my music is for everyone. No, the fuck, it's not. I mean, it might be one day.
Yeah.
But you think Michael Jackson was like, my music is for everyone?
Well, the same thing Ludacris did. I saw a clip of him making a statement. I don't know if it's to some kids or something like that, but he was saying about how to not take anything personal in the music industry.
Yeah.
And to think that your music is like your own. Like a lot of people are there just for the money and stuff like that. Will turn your music inside out. So it's best not to take a lot of shit personally. It's really.
Do you think that's what keeps people most from succeeding is the fact that they want to have it their way or no way at all?
Yes, and heavily in the science and engineering department. At least from what I've seen and experienced myself, we were taught heavily by teachers, other associates, pretty much everybody in general, to get a patent on your work first before you tell anybody, because anybody can take it and all that stuff.
Steal my idea
without even knowing if your shit works. You know what I mean?
Is your idea even that? In fact,
is it even?
It's not the idea that gets things done. It's the people who get things done that get things done, right?
Mm-hmm. And no matter what you make, somebody's going to make a better version of it,
dude,
or make a different color and then resell that shit out.
In fact, isn't
AC/DC.
Yep.
Wait, what did AC/DC
You're talking about the alternate current
and
direct current? Yeah,
same thing. Just
direct current was developed and then
fuck you, Keenan. You know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. You
the Tesla thing.
He's over here looking at me like I'm a fucking.
I want to do that anime face. It's just like
with the dark lines in the back of the head,
or just the beady eyes. Oh, and they do the beady eyes. Hilarious. Like
the super beady eyes.
It's overexpressive.
They do it
in
Demon Slayer a lot, right?
Yeah, Demon Slayer and One Punch Man.
Speaking of Demon Slayer,
I can't see the last episode. I want to watch it.
I saw the last episode. I mean, yeah, I personally think that the episode 93 of Black Clover was deeper than was like. But that's also because the story is way further along.
And it's fleshed. It has more seasons to flesh it out.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But Demon Slayer was dope.
Dude, it's so crazy to me. What?
I could have swore that cord just moved.
You know why you acting like there's ghosts in this room?
I swear.
You're tripping. Anyway, it's amazing to think that fucking Demon Slayer. I mean, Black Clover is already on episode 93, dude.
Yeah,
93 says 4 seasons.
Well, it's in episode 93 in Japanese.
Yeah, in
that's fine. Either or doesn't matter.
Yeah,
there's only 90 episodes. The 3 episodes back.
Man,
but that's crazy, dude.
Anime has.
I gotta go back and watch Black Clover.
I remember it just starting. It's like
because I remember you introducing me to it like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm glad I actually waited a while. Too, there's something about waiting a long time to then just binge watch the shit out.
Yes, Game of Thrones.
There's nothing fun. Like now that I'm all caught up, there's nothing worse than having to wait an entire week to
yeah.
That's how I feel about a lot of these shows. And now some of them are like the seasons are over, like Mob Psycho is
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
That shit has me so mad that it's over. Like,
well, it's not over
for good.
Right. No, but like next year it's gonna come out. Yeah.
I heard they actually canceled the Fire one because somebody burned down a fire station or whatever in Japan or something like that.
No way.
So
No
they canceled that
shit.
show. My coworker was telling me about it 'cause she's a big fan of the one.
Episode 3 just came out.
The one you told me about.
Yeah. Fire Force.
Fire Force. Yeah, apparently somebody took it seriously and
way.
burned a building down, and now they're canceling the show.
No way.
How can people mistake an animated series for something in real life?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Is this somewhat factual, Joe? Do you see a piece of news because you're reading it?
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Yeah, okay. I have to talk to her about that when I,
I
go into work
think she
tomorrow.
was just trying to get you to stop talking to her.
Yeah,
That's a more believable story.
Oh, whatever. Fuck you, Philly.
Yeah.
All the
see,
ladies
a week
out there,
ago,
I'm
Fire Force
approachable.
is coming to Tsunami. If it's coming to Tsunami, there's no way that.
Oh,
I mean, like,
dude, I'm so excited.
But no new season, right?
the season just started.
The guy who does the voice for Tom in Tsunami just opened up his voice acting class. I'm thinking of looking into it, man.
The voice
That's gonna
acting
be,
class?
yeah, he's like, hi, I'm whatever. You might recognize my voice from, and then they flash over like the Tsunami thing. I was like, oh shit, it's the guy. And he's done a lot of voices. And he was like, if you want to learn how to get into the industry, sign up to my course. Now I never do that shit, but this was the one time I'm glad that ads had targeted me, because I'd be down. Dude.
What were you looking at to get that targeted to you? So that means you're accepting of this whole government
No,
company.
so I do think that there are benefits to it. But I do think that there should be limits being placed on how people use our data. I
Okay.
mean, I was gonna wait until way later to talk about it, but just suffice it to say that if you haven't watched the documentary on Netflix called "The Great Hack," it's quite possibly the most important piece of documented information of 2019 and really of our millennium. The amount of not just because of Trump or Brexit, but because of how much testing they did around the world and how social media companies have single-handedly been responsible for the rise of authoritarianism
Of authoritarianism in our country right now?
in the world.
No
Because remember-
surprise to me.
remember-
History, people.
Yeah,
This is
Facebook.
nothing new. It's just new technology. That's all.
Facebook is global.
Keenan has his dick out right now. Like, I've
Look.
been known this.
Keenan put his hands up against his glasses to rebalance them, and he was like,
Rebalance.
technology.
Oh
Of
my
course.
gosh.
Technology, people. Yes.
I
I gotta check it out. I gotta watch it.
It's big, dude.
it's really good.
It made me deeply
See,
upset.
Yeah, it's gonna see. Here's the thing, though.
It's supposed to try to make you upset,
It's gonna try to fuel
Like
that
zeitgeist
fire,
and all
but
that stuff.
No,
yeah.
exactly.
but it covers that exact thing of how these companies have specifically allowed the. You don't understand.
No, you don't, because you need to watch it. Joe.
Essentially, they weren't directly responsible, but because they had developed an algorithm and a science around collecting data, basically all they needed was one person to do one of those little personality surveys, and through that personality, I'm sometimes relaxed. And once they did that, they basically designated who is persuadable. But in doing so, that person who clicked and said yes and gave access to their data, it didn't just release their data; it released their whole friend network's data.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they didn't need to get everybody; they just needed to get a certain percentage of everybody.
And that's a percentage of what Snowden was all about too.
Yeah.
Except that led not for corporations, but more for the government in this act. There's a group of documentaries on Netflix. I mean, if you go and watch, I'm just talking about the mentality of the people that are doing this. And the reason why I'm trying to explain the reason why I'm not surprised is if you go and look at the educational system for the documentary Waiting for Superman, that one's a real tough one, because you'll be really upset after seeing that. And then there's another one, one of my personal favorites is called Smartest Guys in the Room, about Enron. And they're doing some wild shit that fucked up, a lot
Our economy.
of
Yeah.
California. And then there's another one about the 2008 housing market crash.
Yeah.
And how that led up to be. There was a few, and that dealt with college professors being involved and giving out non-factual information and having that and benefiting off of that during that time period. So,
it's a hell of a time to be alive.
and I got to
man.
find out the name of that too, because it was great. Because towards the end, when the interviewer eventually got to asking him, so you know all this information and you did nothing about it and you benefited off of that. Why did you do that? And then it's great. They would get upset and then get flustered and then cancel the interview. So it's like, they're guilty as fuck,
Yeah.
but they're not. It's almost like they were. And I love the way the interviewer made them lead to believe that they were just gathering information until at the very end they were like, okay, so what about you?
Yeah.
And then they got all like, oh fuck. That was a great one. I got to find out the name of it, and then on the next episode I'll announce it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell about it. But go back and watch if you can find it. Go back and watch End of the Road: How Money Became Worthless. I'm telling you, this is a historic fuckery.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's more.
There's some historic fuckery happening here.
I mean, of course, we have to keep things within perspective. It's a lot like that book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, where they talk about you have your circle of concern and your circle of influence. There's a shitload of things we can be concerned about, like the ascent of money and how the history of it, all that, and education and all that. And then at the same time, something that literally affects our lives daily right now, like that we can do something about, is the way our data is being managed.
Well, that's the new thing. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, I feel like nothing is really going to be in effect, and you'll just see what I see and watch a documentary 20 years from now and be like, oh yeah, America did that. That's
so you're saying the majority, you don't believe, like, you're like, more than likely people are going to watch it. You're going to get upset, but then you're going to go back and live your regular fucking life.
I'm pessimistic. I'm most optimistic about stuff, but for this thing or anything that deals with historical fuckery, I'm very pessimistic. I very believe it's glass half empty on this one. I mean, I'll finish it because I just started it, but I'll finish it. But I'm pretty sure, it's messed up.
I mean, there's no shortage of things we could be outraged about, right? Like right now,
and to do something about it. I mean, that's kind of why I like. I can't say her name fully. I'm not going to pronounce it properly. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Yeah. The fact that she's very young and she was, wanted to get into
at least
politics.
You admitted it. Fucking our president's like, what? I'm just gonna call him one name.
I know. I saw
just
that.
One name.
Oh my god! It was just
such a fucking idiot
and an asshole to boot.
He literally, like, it's not just that.
It's not a lie. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's right in your face,
dude. I'm telling you, if I had a platform and there was one thing I could say in 2019, it would be to go watch The Great Hack.
Mm-hmm.
That's how important I think that documentary is.
You do have a platform.
Oh no, but I want to save my
when you get
my
when this
soapbox
platform
or something else.
Yeah. Don't tempt us with a good time. Hey.
Oh, but I will.
Oh, let's talk about it.
Oh, but I will.
Right here, guys. Yeah.
Nice.
So anybody feel like they're gaining weight these days?
I feel like I'm losing weight.
What are you talking about, sir? Little jiggle jaggle over here,
dude.
No, I don't know. Why are you feeling some type of way, Filthy?
I can see your tits.
No, no. I mean, so I'm not going to be going to the gym anymore. I've invested in a pull-up bar, a jump rope for the mornings. You know what I mean?
And the boxing hand gloves.
mitts. Yeah, well, I'm gonna buy a heavy.
Those
bag.
are cool. Now you can be honest.
That was fun. No kidding.
My strength was.
You have a hard hit. You have a heavy hand.
Yeah, I do.
You need
my
to
right hand.
I mean, you may need to work on the technique because you were leaning forward. There was a lot of things, but you have a heavy hand, man.
Yeah.
I think your defense needs work, not your offense.
Did I defense at all?
No.
I mean, I put my hands out and it kind of snapped back and that.
Right, but yeah.
But I really think I don't know. I do want to try or at some point get involved in some sort of
self-defense
movement, self-defense activity. I did support.
You're fucking with the right one, Keenan.
I know.
At your boy.
That's what I'm saying. I did support the was it not Muay Thai? Wing Chun, and then made me watch Ip Man, like all three.
I mean, him taking on 10 people is a little ridiculous, but I mean, if you are that badass, you probably could. But at that point, it didn't matter what you knew, as long as you really knew your shit. You could kick some ass like that.
Yeah, and the idea is like I said, never been in any real fights, and if something happens,
any fighter will tell you that if you can avoid the fight, do it.
Which I always do.
The smartest fighters always avoid a fight.
Hey, I'm a smart fighter.
Because you never know what somebody, like, you can watch all those YouTube videos. This is how you disarm a handgun.
Oh, I saw those.
This is how you disarm a knife. And it's like, bro, especially with the knife. The knife is more dangerous than a handgun, bro.
There's a good one where he's like, "This is how you disarm a knife," and he just runs in the other direction.
Because that's
like,
the
that's
only
great.
way, bro.
Yeah, pretty much. And
I
then-
mean, yeah, you could grab your
It's the best
jacket
way.
and like try to protect yourself from getting slashed, but you
Yeah.
likely will get slashed.
Mhm.
Don't
Mhm.
do it, bro. No, don't do it.
Yeah.
Nobody. The world is full of people who want to huff and puff their chest like gorillas until it comes down to it. But if you watch, people go back and forth. Oh, what? So you want to go? What? You want to go?
Yeah.
That's not somebody you need to be worried about. You need to be worried about somebody who doesn't say you want to go.
I learned my lesson after getting my ass beat by a fucking 8th grader.
Yeah. Little
Fuck that.
boxing champ.
You never fucking know, dude. And
Yeah.
no matter what kind of training I've ever had, if I can avoid a fight, I will.
Mhm.
Fuck that.
Now, wouldn't there be a slight regret if, like, I don't know. I mean, you couldn't regret if your life ended, but if you had a chance to defend yourself, but you didn't, and then you wound up like, dying or in the
it's
hospital.
an ego trip. No. So, okay, so
Yeah.
like defending yourself is one thing if you're being attacked.
Yeah.
But if somebody's trying to invite you like to fight
To
them, what's
yeah,
up?
okay,
What's
yeah.
up? And you give into it, that's you giving up your power to them.
Gotcha.
Because all anger is a form of communication.
Mhm.
And it's a form of communication that's with its end goal to be manipulation.
So all that anger that I have towards Joe for beating me in Dragon Ball Z.
Yelling at someone, raising your voice at someone,
Buddy, I don't know what to tell you.
raising your voice at
Not
someone
sorry.
is your way of trying to intimidate someone to submit to your will. That's all anger is.
Mm.
That's all it is. It's a forced submission because it's just somebody who wants to win. But that's not power. Anger is not power. Anger is weakness. And anyone who gives in to anger is even weaker than them. That's all it is.
Obi-Wan Kenobi said it.
Mind your feelings.
And Yoda.
Yeah. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
I would smoke weed with Yoda. Would you guys smoke weed with Yoda?
He's probably on some other shit. Like,
Some
weed.
universal.
Weed this is.
You brought up a good question. Do you think aliens actually smoke?
Dude, they
Like
have
some
to.
type
They
of,
probably
like,
have some
medicinal stuff?
crazy shit.
Or
They
would they
probably have
need
their
to?
own shit.
They probably planted that shit on planet Earth. Bro. Like about, yo, my guy, you're gonna love this shit right here.
It was
Okay.
Yoda.
Like,
Yeah,
what
they were
would-
like, we'll start you guys off with a light stress for now.
I wonder if what would like, I don't know, an alien equivalent of our weed or cocaine or something like that would be.
They be sniffing stardust. Oh shit, my man! You see what I'm seeing? I'm real.
I see humans, bro.
Bro, they got high and they were like, dude, what if we go down there and give our DNA to those monkey things and see what the fuck happens, bro?
No, it was more like, bro, let's go down there and fuck those monkeys.
And then I come back, guys, you won't believe what just happened to me.
Holy shit.
Like the kid who got in Rick and Morty who got stuck in Fruity Land and started fucking.
Oh,
all
that's
the-
right. Yeah. Oh man, I'm excited for that to come back.
Oh,
Super
man.
excited. They announced the trailer. They showed a little bit piece of it.
Did they?
Yeah,
When?
Comic-Con.
There's
Did they?
a trailer.
It's
For the new Rick
leaked
and
on YouTube, or it's on YouTube.
we gotta
now.
watch
I gotta
that.
watch it.
Yeah.
We'll watch it after.
So
Yeah.
let's not forget we've got listeners here. I just want to give a quick shout out to all the listeners and say thank you for rocking with us, man.
Keenan single.
You
Just
guys
talked to
actually,
him a
what
little
the fuck, Keenan? Nobody gives a fuck, Keenan.
bit. Quick plug.
People got bills to pay, Keenan. Ain't nobody care if you're single.
Nobody give a fuck about your fucking status.
Fuck you both.
But if there are any shorties out there who's Keenan has been able to make laugh, you might as well hit Keenan up and be like, "What's up, boo?" Because Keenan's with it. Keenan's with it.
And he has a decent sized dick, ladies.
It's
so
pretty big. I saw it. We were in the gym room together, the locker room.
It's like kissing.
It'll
a
get the
butthole.
job done. he's like, I won't deny that.
Oh my god.
No, but seriously, thank you guys for
He's like,
listening.
it's
and
a
rocking with
decent
us.
sized black penis.
it's average. It's an average 6, 7.
It's a delicious. It's a delicious length.
Yeah.
It will touch the back of your throat.
That's right.
I
That's
mean,
right. That's right.
Yes, thank you. And
Absolutely. Keenan's like, thank you for promoting my penis out there
Yeah.
to the world.
thank you guys. I appreciate it.
We haven't talked about shit. I mean, with the exception of
Politics and all that stuff.
I love it.
We don't have to talk about shit.
Well, it's the none of our
Hey,
business.
so I got hit by a car last week.
That's right.
By the way, everybody.
By the way, guys.
Joe has damaged his jacking off hand.
Yeah, he can't rub it.
His wrist doesn't move the same
my
way.
left is okay.
Oh,
Luckily,
okay.
it's
Oh,
getting
that's right. You're
better.
left-handed. That's right.
Okay.
I forgot Joe was left-handed. So this fucking you're riding. You said
Okay,
a scooter.
so here's the sitch.
One of those
right?
ghost
Here's
scooters,
the
right?
sitch. So just in case some of y'all listeners didn't know, last week we recorded the pod early because
Joe got called in. To
Even though
record.
Joe said it was something important, it turns out it was important because he had to go to an LAFC event.
Oh wait, that was it? No, he
No.
went to it was
no, I
San
went to
Diego.
Comic-Con.
He had to
Yeah,
go to
yeah,
work.
yeah, he had to go to work.
Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Okay, so we recorded early. We recorded on Saturday. Did it on Saturday. Left, and I was gonna go to LAFC gala. I did go. We had a casino night. It was pretty tight. It was fucking
Awesome.
awesome.
Damn, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it was super dope. It was super fun. But so afterwards, when I got some food, and I was on my way home, I was like, fuck it, I'm good. I'm gonna go take one of those scooters.
Bird
That
or
tan
whatever.
ass
Bird,
thing.
yeah,
The
Lime,
bird.
whatever.
I think I grabbed the.
The
Oh no, it
green
was a
one,
bird.
right?
It was a bird. It was a bird.
Yeah.
So I hopped on one and I was on my way home, merrily, happily, just making my way home.
Were you
I was
conscious?
Yeah, I was. I was absolutely conscious.
Okay.
So I was driving. I mean, I was riding, and then some dude like pulls up. Well, he didn't pull up next to me. I was approaching the corner, like the cross.
You were in the street or you in the
crossing.
sidewalk?
Yeah, I was on
Okay.
the street. Because you have to ride it on the street if you're riding on one of those things.
Mm.
So I was about to go. It was the crosswalk, and it was a stop sign. So I was about to go, and like some dude just fucking speeds past me and makes a right turn.
Mm-hmm.
No blinker, no nothing. Now this was like 2:30 in the morning, right? And the dude like cuts me off, and I kind of swerve so he doesn't hit me directly. When I do that, he makes the right and he clips me. I get knocked off the scooter, fucking land on my face. Like,
Did yours speed off faster? Just like did they like
he didn't stop.
even notice?
He didn't stop.
Okay.
It's like he didn't notice.
Okay.
Like he just boom and just was gone. So he knocks me down.
If I would have hit you, I wouldn't have
I got
noticed either, bro.
fucked up. I was fucked up. So my wrists are
Yeah.
fucked up right now, and my face.
You used your
got
hands
all
to break your
scarred
fall
up.
and shit.
Yeah.
Did you like? Was it clear on your path on the way down, or was there like a car? Like, did you hit anything else, or did you fall
No, it
straight
was
to the
corner.
concrete?
I fell straight
Straight into the street.
concrete.
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
into the concrete.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. And that's not the. There's a lot of hit and runs going on.
Yeah, dude. That's what
You
pissed
got
me
hit and
off.
run before in a car.
Yeah.
Damn. And I remember getting into several hit and runs. And a lot of people are getting into hit and runs when their car's parked.
Yep.
And it's
Happens
like-
to me all the
And it's
fucking
like,
time.
does
man.
nobody like? And the fact that nobody.
There are some
go-
people out there who are like, "Sorry, here's my info."
There's some of them. I mean, I got one when they said they scratched my car, and I looked for a scratch. I didn't see any scratch whatsoever. But I mean, still, it's just like it really sucks that these things happen, and nobody else in the street who's seen it go down go, "Oh shit," and then snap their camera, or 'cause everybody has camera phones, and then lets the person know, "Hey, this is my number. I saw the thing happen.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do." But people are like, it's not me.
People
It's
don't
not my
wanna-
problem."
People, yeah, exactly. Not me. Not my problem.
And it's like,
I'm one of those.
You're one of
guys. I'm one of those. Be like, oh damn, that sucks.
oh shit.
When
Oh,
Joe
back to
got
my
hit, he was
business.
like, "Oh, doesn't anyone see I need help?
I know.
Then when I get it, I'm like, oh,
Did anyone catch that bus? Is there anybody here?"
I
And
saw
they're
you
like,
looking.
"Ugh."
Yeah, I just like,
I was like, you're all assholes. Why would you help me?
And then Joe
But if it
thinks
were me, I'd be like, damn, that's.
Joe reminds me of a Latino Cartman, bro. Like just straight up savage.
Damn.
Dude.
yeah.
Hey, that's pretty good. Hey, man, I'll take that. I'll take that.
That's a good
Respect
segue.
my authority.
What's your definition of what racism is?
Wow, Keenan.
My definition of
That's
what
racist, Keenan. Why would you bring that up?
Well, you said Cartman, so I thought it would be a decent segue. I was thinking about this in my mind at one point.
Pretty
Racism?
good. What?
I think about a lot of things, mostly racism, sexism, ism, all the isms.
All the isms.
Yeah.
You just want to be politically incorrect all the time.
No, just in my mind, I was thinking
I don't care so much for offending people. But if you're trying to verbally abuse somebody or make somebody feel less than you, that's different. But like offending, like if that's like the equivalent of me farting in front of you, like whoops,
I would be very offended.
you know. but like to attack someone verbally and make them feel like their life is worth less than yours, that's different. I don't care to offend people. In fact, it's unavoidable that I'm going to offend you at some point. I'm not you.
And everybody is a little bit racist these days. I mean, you'll say something that you think is racist, but it's really just a stereotype. It's just because it deals with a race, somebody automatically makes it, oh, that's racism. But a lot of times it's very just stereotypes. For instance, Joe jokes all the time about me having a big dick because I'm black or something like that. And
but we all know that's not true. So
yeah, it's about.
and I'm tired of the racism because
hey man, we're trying to get this guy a girl
because I don't want them to look and be all surprised, like, hey, wait a minute, Joe said you have a big ass.
Wait
dick.
a minute,
and you know what? You know what?
Big ass dick. This at most looks like a regular dick.
You know what? Most guys out there need to know, like, yo, dude, as long as it ain't micro, you'll be fine, bro. If you got the micro, like, you know,
can't look like an Audi.
you gotta work on your moves, you know. But otherwise, you should be fine, man. You know.
But I'm just saying, like, I think there's a fine line that people bridge too easily.
Well, fetishizing a race is wrong. Like that's the whole equivalent of like just assuming every black guy, whatever. You know, it's like it's like the same thing as like, oh, I love Asian girls, or like fetishizing people is wrong.
Well, and my mind.
Do love Asian girls.
My mindset, and you guys know I like Latin
black,
girls,
white,
so
Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
But my mindset when I was thinking about this in the car was,
I love them all. Black, yellow, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
If I was asked that question in like interview, because I watch interviews and they give their opinion and stuff, and I thought if I was in that position, what would I say? And in my mind was that for me, I would think the purest form of racism is if, for instance, if I was injured in the street and a white person didn't help me at all. I'm basing this on physical acts. Didn't help me because of my skin color. I would easily, from my mind, link that up to a racism act. But if they decide to help me, and then once they're done helping me, they still say, I don't like you. I don't like your kind. I wouldn't list that so much as racism because they didn't act on the physical hatred. So if it's
I
just
see what you're saying. So like if they just preferred not to be associated with you, that's one thing. But if they blatantly ignore you based on your color and like, yeah, fuck. But I mean, yeah.
Like if I go into a bar and ask for a drink, and they
say we don't serve your kind.
Or if they like, if they say, if they have like an angry face or angry look, or they stare at me, or if the bartender says, I don't like you, or I don't want you around here. And I go, well, you're still going to give me a beer if I give you my money. And they go, yeah. And they do it all angrily. They still did the act of treating me like any other human being.
Right.
But, if they didn't do any of that, I would lead forward
if
towards
they instead turned around and said, your money's no good here, that'd be different.
That would for me be
that's because they don't serve protocol droids.
Oh my God. That would be
If Keenan was a droid, he'd be C-3PO. Hello.
Why can't I get R2D?
Alpha 5?
Zordon.
Friends.
Hard on.
These are my friends. Oh, jeez. Anyway, I would find that to be my definition.
Okay.
I think both of those things are racist. Even if they help you.
Yeah.
I think it's still racist that they have to let you know that even though they helped you, they still don't like your kind.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's fucking racist, regardless of what. It's like
I think it's more of
Kenan's just saying he's more worried about the people who don't help. Even like he has more respect for people who can put aside their differences for a second just to look out for another human being, as opposed to the purely.
Yeah, but
true
it doesn't
race.
make them not racist, even though that they're doing the human thing.
Right.
Because that's where we would have our. That's what I would
Kenan's
disagree.
he's like the only reason I say that is because there's a lot of people that I'll never fucking like myself. But
I'll help them
if
they're dying.
So Keenan's like, I'm a little racist, bro.
But if it's on the basis of
your skin color,
even though I helped you, it doesn't mean that I
like you.
I like you. Like that's still racist.
But do they have to like you for helping you?
Would you consider like owners of like sports
teams?
franchises?
Yeah.
it's known like what was his name that
Oh,
owned
for the Lakers or the
that owned
Clippers? Yeah. Because he said he didn't want to bring like black people to the stadium or something like that. Yeah,
he owns a team.
Yeah, full of black.
He employs all
Yeah.
black people, or a majority of the teams are black guys.
Mm-hmm.
The building has black people, but the motherfucker was still a racist. He dated
a black Larry.
Yeah,
she was the one I think that leaked that information out.
Yeah, she was
fucked up.
Sterling, that's his name, Sterling.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I met the guy.
Donald Sterling.
Donald Sterling.
Donald Trump. Donald Sterling. Yeah, but
Donald Duck.
Donald Duck is not racist. He's black. Donald Duck can't be racist. He's black. Man, go ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're racist as fuck. But they still employ people, and that's just because, you know, that's the way society works.
Is he yeah. He's employing them because they're black.
No, because he needs to have employees. He needs
right. But if he says, but he can have the, I don't know. This I guess it's getting a little bit more fine tuned.
Donald Sterling is racist?
His actions are racist.
Yeah,
but his statements are just statements. Like they're words. They're not actually physically harboring you in any way unless you take that action. So you can think, oh, I don't like these people, but if you don't do anything that justifies you not liking them, that would be for me the act of racism. That you take action on your hatred. But if you don't take any action on your hatred, then I don't know. I think it should be called something else.
How come we don't complain like when like it's discrimination? It's discrimination. Discrimination and racism are two different things.
Maybe discrimination. I don't know.
You can discriminate someone based on race, but discrimination and blatant racism are two different things. I think is what Keenan is trying to say.
Yeah.
Although I agree with both of you. I think any form of discrimination based on race should be looked at. It's discrimination based on race when it begins to affect people's lives is the problem.
Well, maybe that's my definition of real racism: discrimination based on race that affects people's lives.
And Keenan is saying that if you're sitting there and you're just thinking mean shit about somebody based on the race, but you never would actually hurt someone, that's the
fucking racist.
Well, no, but that's the equivalent of then thinking like I would never have sex with a fat person. You know what I'm saying? Like you're thinking something mean. You're discriminating based on something physical that maybe they can no longer control, and
until you meet to follow.
But then you find a chunky one,
and if you find a chunky one and then don't act on it, that leads to that. You just took action.
You guys are saying the chunky one is.
I know.
Jeez, guys, I'm fat myself. I got a huge pudge.
Left hand on blue, if you know what I mean.
Left hand on blue.
I don't. Oh, okay.
Even the other ones need some loving.
We can table it for later discussion.
Racism is racism is racism. Even if you're jokingly
like you, Joe,
being racist. Exactly.
So you're a racist. You're full blown racist.
All racist.
Oh, so now that's like all lives matter. Come on, Joe.
Scientifically, they've already proven that we're designed biologically to prefer our lookalikes, our likeness, over people who look different from us.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
crazy.
If an alien group of people came down here, we'd probably start discriminating against them too. Hey, you're from another planet. Fuck you.
I will say this though, like even though I have friends of all types, like I personally have only maybe once or twice ever been somewhere where I felt myself like, oh wow, people don't like me specifically just because like I'm darker.
That's funny. That only happens like 1 or 2 times in your life.
Yeah, I know.
That's like every day for me.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I realize that.
Yeah.
And the few times that it's happened to me, it's an ugly feeling because you know that there's no other valid reason other than the fact that you are.
Especially if it's not obvious, and then you're just speculating. Like, damn, are they doing this to me?
I made friends in New York who I come across in LA years ago, when I was in a band. And I ran into them in New York, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And so I was like, "Well, we kind of already know each other, you know." So I showed up with a bottle of a Black Label, like as a gift. I was like, "Hey, man, you know, we're hanging out." And when I looked around, it was just like a lot of I was the brownest person in this group. Let's look at it like that. And I noticed it was one of the first times I ever felt brown. I noticed that the girls didn't want to talk to me at all. And I'm not saying I'm fucking God's gift to women, but I'm by no means unattractive either. You
You're
know what I
very
mean?
sexy man, Philly.
And so
Fucking attractive as fuck.
and so
I'd
when
fuck you right now if I
when I was in that room and I noticed this, I was like, wow, this group is racist as fuck. I was like, straight up. And then they were like, oh hey, we're gonna invite a friend of ours. I think you two will get along.
And
It was their
brown, right?
their other Latino friend girl.
Yep.
Dude, straight up.
Did you get along?
You probably did.
He's like, we got along just fine.
Bang, 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 bop, bop, bop. What's that sound they're making? Oh, is it Hispanic?
They're in a band. They're in a band together. They're playing the bongos.
Oh shit!
But that person is also the same type of person that, like, when I brought another friend over who just happened to be white too, so whatever, shouldn't have been a problem, right? But as soon as we met up for them for one of their birthdays, they asked my friend. They were like, I told them she was an actress, and they were like, oh, okay, what's the most lucrative thing you've done? Like, that's the first fucking question that they asked her.
Like, how much money did you make?
Like, what's the most important thing you've accomplished as an actor? Or are you not really an actor? Just like that. Just like that. I was like, yeah, I'm in the wrong fucking circles.
Yeah. Have you gotten that here in LA? I think you get a lot of that here in LA.
Well, ironically, in New York, New York, I had never, I mean, besides, with the exception of that group, I never once experienced anywhere else like where, if anything, actually, no one was against the fact that I was darker than them. I'll put it to you like that. I had plenty of opportunities to experience the entire palette of life in New York, but in LA.
So he basically fucked a lot.
Oh, okay.
He fucked a lot of white women.
Milk of magnesia.
I didn't say it like that, man.
Magnesia.
But in LA, actually, in LA, I have not experienced the same. I think LA women are a little bit different. Because it's not as it is a melting pot, but it's not like melting pot like New York.
And we're talking the range of women you've met and come across and talked to and spoke to in LA.
Yeah. Also, like, I think LA is different culturally than New York. Like in New York, the culture is that you're around people all day long. Everyone walks everywhere. Everyone goes to bars.
Because if you go to Anaheim, it's probably, or Irvine, it's probably way different than coming over and doing stuff in like Burbank.
Yeah, there's something about Hollywood-esque environments that immediately puts things into the perspective of class and race, almost immediately. And anybody who doesn't, and even if they're in a position to be able to do that, shout outs to you, because we need more of that.
Yep.
So I was like,
I'm just trying to think of any time that I ever felt like
brown
color. Yeah.
When you come to my house.
I mean, like,
right at home. I don't think I've ever experienced a situation, besides like watching something on TV or something like that.
But you personally,
like me personally, been like, oh shit. Like,
no, yes, you have. Mexican. You have. I remember you telling the stories here on the podcast about you in those meetings with your so-called, white clients.
I
feel like that was,
and you said that they called you out as like you're the brown one.
No.
Until they were like, actually, that's the person you got to talk to.
And you had to step up.
But it wasn't a situation where I felt my race.
Oh, okay.
It was my career.
And your race.
It was, but it wasn't like anybody was being weird to me. It wasn't like anybody was being weird.
You just knew that's just how you had to.
Yeah, I just had again, and that's one of those situations where I'm not going to allow my skin color to dictate how people are going to treat me. Like, I just come. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just a person of authority. Like,
So you've never once tried to get it like.
No one has ever
turned me down or said based on your,
not just romantically, but just in experience. Like nobody's ever behaved in a racist manner towards me.
Well, what about any people in the past that you might have dated? Like maybe their family members didn't like you because you're brown or something like that?
It's never happened. No.
I've had that, dude.
He just didn't want me to fuck his daughter.
There was one time that a girl literally, I was driving. I was like, yo, let me drop you off at home. And she was like, she was from New Mexico. She was like, and she was a little fair skinned, I will say, well, literally fair skinned. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna drop you off. She's like, actually, I don't think my parents would ever approve of you. And I was like, why? Like, you guys know me. I'm like educated, well spoken, etc. And she was like, well, suffice it to say, they're not very open minded. And I was like, fuck.
That's why you're banging out even harder.
Don't trip, girl. We're gonna fuck right here in front of your house.
Right against the window. Titties pressed and everything.
Call me daddy.
You said,
that's when the air gap gets in and starts queefing. but no, it happens.
Keenan just loves the word queef, bro.
It's a great word, and it just sounds nice to roll off the tongue.
I bequeath you, Keenan. It's bequeath, not bequeath. It's bequeath.
But that happened to my brother.
Like taking it for granted.
Oh yeah. Yo, whenever people say things, like I'm not a grammar police, but when people say things, I'm always dumbfounded. Like
specifically,
yeah.
No, my brother had that issue too. Like, and I had an argument between him and his now wife where she didn't tell her father about them dating or stuff like that for a long time.
Shit.
I'm like, and for me, it's like if you're over the age of even, I'll go as low and generous as 25, you should have no
parental issues.
Yeah, or dictation from your parents. Like
especially if you live on your own and pay your own bills.
And this happens to a lot of women and men who are foreign and not from America and stuff like that. I understand, I get it, but just on the basis of adulthood alone, if you tell me I'm a grown up and I can do whatever I want, and then the person you're dating, oh, I can't introduce my father yet, and you're like 35, 40, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
There are some people out there who are 35 and 40 who their parents are still paying their phone bill or
not even that. No, they're on their own. They're super independent. They got like they run their own business and all that shit. It's just that for some reason, it's the hypocriticism I hear and see, or not hear, but see, but hear and is spoken about in the words that they say of general statements. It's basically me taking things literally. If you say I'm independent fully, and then you date someone that you don't introduce, I don't mean you have to like fully introduce them, like, hey, I'm dating this person, blah, blah, blah. But like, if it comes up in conversation, you shouldn't have to hide it from your parents after the age of 25, at least 25. I mean, I would say earlier than that. I mean, you're young, blah, blah, blah. I'm meeting people in their late 30s. Even I met somebody who was in their like 50s and 60s, wouldn't introduce them to their parents because of, racial and religious issues. I'm like, yeah, you guys are 20 years from dying. Who gives a fuck?
Trust me, dude. My mom is as white as white skin can get, and my dad is as dark as Mexican skin can get. My dad's literal nickname was Black One.
Oh, I was gonna say Darky. That's pretty. Yeah.
Like they literally.
I heard that too.
They called him that. So I get it. Like I can only imagine the kind of shit that happened back in the day when people saw my dad with my mom. Because
yeah.
My mom was like a redheaded,
tall woman.
Tall.
You both met my cousin,
white lady. Yeah.
Her father is Wesley Snipes, and her mother is like.
That's
crazy.
Right. That's right. Yeah. It did catch me off guard a little when I went to the birthday party. And she was like, this is my mom. I was like, and she was like, yep. Like she already knew. And I was like, well, oh shit.
Yeah.
Blinked and he missed it. He's that meme, the
oh yeah, that meme with the white guy. What?
Yeah, I just can't understand.
Here's my thing though. Do you think it's wrong to say things like, "Oh, with that Asian guy," or "A with that black guy," or "A with that white guy," or "A with the Mexican guy," or the Latino guy?
For identifiers, if you don't know their names and you don't know if you don't know anything.
I think it's weird when sorry to interject.
As you guys been doing it the whole episode, whatever.
I think it's weirder when somebody gets uncomfortable when somebody does that. Like,
and you're like,
if I
how
say,
are you thinking?
It was the black dude. Yeah, like, oh, I don't. Did you have to say he was black?
Yeah, how else are you gonna describe it? Like, if somebody
was the fucking Mexican dude,
I wouldn't care unless they knew who I was.
Yeah,
yeah. That's like if you go, that's Keenan over there. And they go, who's Keenan? That guy. What? I still don't get. Sorry.
Yeah,
the black guy.
But no, but yeah, you're right though.
Yeah,
like it's like even with specifics, like, oh, it's the Korean dude. Oh, how do you know he's Korean? Because I fucking know he's Korean. Like,
he told me.
Like, you know, like.
the sensitivity is
fucking
on
too
super
sensitive.
high, super high. But it's just frustrating. It's not my soapbox, but it's just very frustrating when I
He's
hear.
like, I didn't give it away yet.
No,
We're not even there yet, all
We're
right?
not. You're not. I'm just saying because it may sound like I'm complaining, but I just hate it when I hear the
A soapbox
contradiction.
is not a complaint, Keenan.
It is not a complaint.
It's
It's
anything
a
you
moment
want
to
it to
talk
be.
about anything you want.
Fuck yeah, I want it to be what I want.
If you happen to want to make your soapbox your opportunity to complain, that's fine.
That's what it's always been. You guys
You
hear
know
me
what
talking
really
that.
grinds my gears?
We
Yeah.
got the Mexican, the mutt, and the black guy.
That's what the show is.
No.
That's
It's a
why every
mix.
time I watch Dragon Ball Z, I always either relate to Gohan or Trunks. Trunks, more specifically. Trunks is quite literally me
Hmm.
because Vegeta and Bulma.
They had sex with him or something. What happened? I don't know. I don't watch. I don't watch it.
He's
Really?
he's quite literally a half breed in the realest sense.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So what is it about anime that you both are just drawn to? I mean, you know, you've been watching it since you were kids, but I mean, like, and what about American cartoons? Do they don't seem to be as
Well, that's
thrilling?
That's what I think anime is. To me, it's an extension of the experience you had as a kid with the Saturday morning cartoons. Except the stories are now far more relatable
They're more
to
adult,
the adult
Deeper,
experiences.
more
Yeah.
adult, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I just love anime.
Yeah. Do you ever thought about like either starring in one or writing one of your own or no?
Dude, I want to be a voice. I could easily. You know
Both
what?
I'd
I
love to
think,
do
both of you,
voiceover. I'd love to
easily.
do voiceovers.
you
Yeah.
know what we should do?
Start on anime?
We should put the call out to anybody out there who knows how to do animation
Ooh, draw
like
us.
that.
Yeah.
And
Some
we will
sketches.
happily do some animated sketches.
For
I'd
fuck
love
sure.
to do some
we
animation
should do what we
sketches.
should do is
You
get
should find somebody.
we should get like actual snippets of an anime and then like start a different channel and just do voiceovers with our own stories of it.
People
Oh, wait,
watch
how-
that shit too.
Wait, how does that
They
work?
love to do all those
Because
hood, those hood ones
yeah,
with
with
that
the
have,
Ninja
like,
Turtles or whatever.
Yeah.
All we have to
Wait.
do is mute the audio
Okay.
and then just come up with
And
our
then we
own.
just do our
and, yeah.
own voiceovers.
Oh.
We should do that.
So is there any copyright thing we get involved with that or something like that?
Not
'Cause
even-
we're
as, long
reposting-
as long as we're not monetizing it.
Yeah. Which we're not.
And on YouTube, there is an option to say, I do not want to monetize this video.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Dude, we should totally do it.
Well, let us know what you think as
We should
audiences.
do a Dragon Ball Z one, dude. Damn.
I wouldn't know what that's about.
No, we make up our own sketch.
I know. Almost like Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
Kakaroto.
You got to put it in my nerdy terms, Joe.
Wait a minute. Okay. What's
Wait, what?
one that would have a scientist, right? A brute,
Is that what I am to you? A fucking brute?
and the chosen
You're
one.
you're the troll. you're the dwarf.
In
I-
Golden
am
Axe,
I?
Joe is the green,
In the
troll dude.
The elf?
Yeah,
no,
the- you're the dwarf.
dwarf, the
Yeah,
dwarf,
the
yeah.
dwarf. The
Yeah.
axe wielding
the
dwarf.
Viking dwarf.
Yeah. I like
Take
those.
that. I'll take that.
You'll take the
He's a
a dwarf?
beast.
Yeah. A
He
big old
was.
dick.
Dun, dun, dun,
They
dun,
probably
dun,
have a
dun,
big
dun.
ass
Well, what
dick.
was the Golden Axe song? Dun, 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 like, man,
Yeah.
Golden
I can't-
Axe was fresh.
It was
dude.
fun. And speaking on that fantasy game, I know you guys don't play it, you should. But the company not Lawrence Studios, the company that made Divinity Original Sin is redoing a very classic, one of the all-time favorite games called Baldur's Gate. They're redoing it.
Baldur's Gate?
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
It's gonna be
I've
awesome.
never played
I
it.
can't wait. I'm just we're talking on games and stuff. But it's gonna be cool. Just announcement.
Talking about a lot of things, man.
Yeah.
Talking about a lot of things. And
We
talking
are.
about everything. and
Let's talk
nothing,
about
man.
you.
I will
man.
never be
Hey.
happy until we can do the virtual reality where we are.
We
the
can do it right
fucking
now.
Characters.
Oh, we're the character. What?
Or like where we are, like playing Street Fighter, but like we literally turn into Ryu.
That's
I bet
so
you
weird.
a lot less people would be willing to go into competitions
To do that.
in video games once it starts getting like haptic feedback and you actually get hit when you do like the moves and shit like
I
that.
just use the VR porn. I just be on there all day.
I just use it for VR porn.
have you seen the Netflix original Maniac?
No, I know of it. I
We
know
talked
the,
about that.
Yeah, you did.
You guys haven't seen it
A
yet?
couple times, no.
Man,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's worth every.
There's a
moment
lot
your
of shit
time.
on Netflix. I mean, I mostly use it for documentaries. But
They haven't made any
I don't
Netflix
even-
original
I don't
porn.
even really
huh?
watch Netflix anymore.
You don't?
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
so much.
HBO
It's
Go
overly
and-
saturated. There's so
Not
much
even
stuff
that,
to
like,
see.
Just to me, like Netflix isn't doing the best job of like giving me original programming anymore. Like now
Well,
it's
do you
just
cater?
now
Do
it's
you
just-
like your videos
Yeah,
to develop the algorithm?
but now it's just giving me like now it's basically just a distribution house. Like now all their quote unquote original content is just shit that they picked up. It's not.
They've
Somebody
been
had already
actually
made it and they take it. Like
I see.
there isn't. They don't have original programming.
Right.
Like, that I know of. Like Stranger Things. Yes, that's original.
But
You
like-
can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference between one of their
and
original
then
programs
Ozarks.
and something that they just picked up.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like because they show the love for it. So you'll see a
Mm.
bunch of like Netflix originals,
Yes.
branded
Okay.
Netflix originals, but it'll be just like some bullshit show that they
It's
picked
what
up.
they really
But
mean
the
is
ones that
Netflix
they've-
exclusive.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Because the ones that they really picked up, or that they for sure created, are ones that they
Like
advertise the
Castlevania,
most.
that shit was dope too.
like Castlevania, like
Castlevania.
Did you ever see
Stranger
the new
Things,
Castlevania on
like
Netflix?
I've
Ozark,
seen clips of
like
Ozark,
like Orange is the New Black. Like,
oh yeah,
those are
they
their
promoted
shows,
that
you
heavily.
know?
Yeah. Mhm.
But then they're like, oh, this German TV show, Netflix show,
Mhm.
but
Oh yeah, that's
know-
so weird how they'll just have like some way out the way
yeah,
shit,
they have like some weird ass shows.
as if
that-
you ever liked.
yeah,
something
like I
similar
would
to
never
that.
like
Yeah.
the show. I would never watch the show.
do you watch British comedy shows like IT Crowd and
Sometimes, yeah.
there's one that I really miss and I wish you guys would find it if you can. It's what got me into that whole scene because I didn't watch it before until I got into this, and it was called pulling, which is a term that they use for like hooking up. But it follows like these two girls that are roommates and stuff like that, and their lives around town. But it was so raunchy, like it was like Broad City before Broad City, but with the older women,
Nice.
and it was just hilariously funny, and it led me into
Pulling.
In-Betweeners and IT Crowd and
So what was this show called?
Pulling.
Pulling.
And it used to be on Netflix in the early days of Netflix.
It
on
moved to
streaming.
Hulu, or what did it move to?
They just took it off and it hasn't
Oh,
been on.
wow.
And I was like, oh, if you guys can find it or
Broad City is Hulu or HBO?
it's on
They're
Hulu now,
Comedy
but
Central.
Comedy Central, yeah.
So it's its own fucking thing.
It was Comedy Central's, you know.
Oh, it's gonna be like Disney, right? It's gonna have its own fucking streaming service.
I can't wait for that, dude.
Really, a lot of people can't wait for it, but I feel like it's like,
Dude,
Disney's-
I'm the guy that got DC Universe. Like,
yeah. But it's like Disney's trying to make mad money. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, we have a special guest knocking on the door just to say hi. Billy went out to say hi. I'm commenting as he walked out. He's looking. There's some instructions. We're talking back and forth. I think we're being too loud. He's closing the door, and then he gives a weird face. A phone booth.
Anyways,
So- Okay.
yeah.
We were being a little
I
frivolous.
think we were being loud, but
I don't give.
Big shit, fuck this ass.
Okay, so
Yes.
did that just ruin your mood?
no, I'm just confused because there's phone booths right there.
And that's the purpose of that. I mean, we obviously, yes, we can hear ourselves outside this room, especially when
But
we're
in
laughing
a
and having
room,
fun.
you know?
But it's meant to be used as a talkative meeting spot.
Exactly.
However, yes, there are booths.
There's
But
also an entire space.
Yeah.
yeah. If you don't like it, you can get out of our country.
Get the hell out of our country. But have you ever seen Misfits?
Yes.
Because you
The
like,
Bri-
you like
the
British shows, yeah.
the superhero one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you
yeah.
watch the whole thing?
I didn't see the second season.
Oh man,
I know,
it
it's
went,
good.
It went like
It's
5
good.
seasons.
Hmm I know. I kind of
That
stopped
was
early.
a great
I know what show
show,
you're talking about. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it, but yeah.
It was so saturated with characters, like
Mhm.
and character development.
Yeah.
I fucking absolutely love it.
So I should go back and watch it. If
You
it's still
should.
available.
You should. Especially it's like a dark comedy
Yeah.
because it gets pretty fucking deep. Like
So I
it's
didn't.
funny as hell, but at some points you'd be like, damn.
So I got to go back and rewatch. I'm gonna go back and watch
Yeah,
it because I
Misfits.
finished, all those anime shows except for Black Clover. I need to go back on that.
Mhm.
But then I'll go back
Did
and
you
watch
finish Fairy Tail?
that. No,
Oh, you haven't gone back.
no.
into
I
Fairy
got
Tail?
at the part where it said END and who it is and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
But
Oh, so you did find out who END is?
yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't go
I'm not
after
gonna
that.
say who it is for everybody else.
Oh yeah. But I didn't
It's
go
all
after
good,
that
it's all
because I
good.
know there's a few episodes after that, and they're still making
Yeah.
more
right
episodes.
now I'm on 290.
Okay.
So I think I'm like 10 episodes behind. or
Oh,
something
okay.
like that.
Okay. Yeah. There's a whole
I
bunch out
barely
there.
got past the area where they were like locked away for 7 years, and then
Oh, okay.
all of a sudden
Yeah.
they had no powers, and like they went to the
Oh,
alternate
the
world,
alternate
and then,
planet.
and then
Yeah.
once the Horacion Sace came back, and they were like stronger than ever before. Like after that, I don't know why I just kind of got turned off to it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But that also happened.
Dude, what's happening right now is super dope. I like what's happening right now.
Oh, good. Yeah. I mean, it is a child show, I guess. I mean, nobody really dies.
Yeah,
But-
that's one thing.
Yeah. But it's very silly and slapstick and, big expressions and all that stuff, which just makes it funny. Just funny to see all this stuff. It's a shame. I don't know. Teen Titans was kind of like that for a bit because I think it was drawn as like in that style of overexpression anime, but then it led to something totally different. And there's the movie and all that stuff. But
They're
shit.
actually doing a new movie.
Another one,
It's-
a live action one.
It's called they have a live action show, Titans. It's pretty tight.
Right. Oh, okay.
It's on DC Universe. If you want log in, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
You're my friend and shit. But
Need your Funimation
but-
login.
no, but fuck you.
So what the fuck?
Because that one only allows 2 screens.
Oh,
And if you're on it and I can't be on it,
whatever.
And also you might ruin Joe's algorithm. Like
yeah, I don't want
polluted
you to
with a
fuck
bunch
up
of
my
trash.
algorithm. No, you'd probably just watch all the shit that I've already watched.
Pretty much is how I don't go out and look for new
I'll give you
anime.
my login.
Oh, okay.
No, but Teen Titans is doing a new movie. It's called Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys watched the Teen Titans Go movie.
No, I didn't see it. I fell off of the whole Teen Titans
The
stuff.
last thing I saw with Teen Titans was that remember that movie where they were like older and you remember when we saw it? We were watching something.
Oh,
and then
Judas
we
Contract?
Yeah, we were like, what is this?
Judas Contract.
Yeah. And then instead we couldn't find that, but then we found there was another one also.
Yeah.
Where do you have the
And then we
time to
watched the
find
other
and watch all this
We
stuff?
came across it. It was like
Where
on
do you have the
YouTube
time to
somewhere.
watch all your documentaries?
Or
Exactly.
RPORN.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
Pornography.
Hey, that only lasts 5 minutes. I mean,
bet you
that only happens.
I bet you just leave it playing and you do all your other duties at home, leaving it in the background.
No, actually, that leads me to a question. What's the latest you've been caught watching it?
Latest?
Yeah, like how late
I've
in the
never
game?
been caught
Never
watching
been
it.
caught like watching it or jacking
I've
it.
never been caught.
And there's never not a good time to throw it on.
Damn, I must be a raunchy ass dude.
I've never gotten caught. watching
Okay, well then
porn
we'll
and
segue out of
getting
this
on
one
my-
because Keenan will talk about it.
I don't want to hear this now.
No. 'Cause First, I talk about sniffing my crotch shit, and then talking about getting caught while I'm like 30 years old. Never mind, forget it. We'll move on.
By your mother.
You were in the bathroom and someone walked in. Did you forget to lock the door, dude?
Well, you see what
He's like,
happened was
It's busy.
It's like in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Does anybody fucking knock anymore?
But don't you? But have you guys ever done it with your girls while there's somebody at the house? Like maybe at night or
I will neither confirm
No,
nor
no,
I will
deny.
neither confirm nor deny that I am.
You
First
guys
of all,
suck.
Kenan, let's not talk about that.
Oh, whatever. This is none of our business. This is what we talk about. Let's bring back the sescapades.
The sex. Oh god.
And I just been re-listening to old episodes and putting them on YouTube, so I remembering
You
what it
like
was
the
like.
sexcapades
He's
too?
like reliving.
I'm really-
everything again.
reliving the glories.
Those were the days.
Those
Yes, by the
were
way, we are going to be, we're not going to be, but I am putting our stuff on YouTube. So anybody out there who
Are you
does
doing just the audio too?
just the audio, or pretty much, yeah, just the audio, just to
Kenan
bring us
is
current.
basically
That's
letting
dope.
people know that he deserves all the credit for what's on
Hey
there.
man, I'll give you all that.
I'm just-
credit. I'll give you all
Jesus.
the roses for that one.
But the idea is that for people,
That's dope.
who-
I'm happy you're
yeah.
doing that.
because I
appreciate
watch Joe Rogan and I listen to Bill Burr, who's just straight audio off YouTube. I don't even go to their websites, even though it's fully available and just as free as YouTube's. But for some reason, I go to YouTube and it's
It's because that's the platform that people go to.
yeah, do it at work and
Like,
then
I watch the Daily
what the
Show
plants
on there
crave.
all the time.
yeah, and Seth Meyers stuff. I watch all
For
those
some
things.
reason, I never watched Seth Meyers.
You know, you should try because that's where he does a lot of information on just as good as the Daily Show.
Really?
And I would and
Seth Meyers reminds me a lot of Ben Stiller. Like they're related somehow.
probably. And that's is it chicken? No. God dang, I watch it all the time.
Last week, today, or what was it? What was it?
No, last week tonight
Tonight,
with
yeah.
John Oliver,
John
I
Oliver.
feel like is the best thing out there because you get a
Dude.
full hour.
Last
Or
week
30 minutes,
tonight
and
is
it's just
one
like-
of the greatest.
Yes. very in
to
depth.
me, it's so much better than the
Mhm.
Daily Show.
It should have been where the Daily Show goes. But I'm glad he did his spinoff the way he did it.
He did it the way he wanted it.
It was
and
great.
He's phenomenal for it. He's just
You learn a lot of shit. Like I learned so much, not so much, but I learned about Puerto Rico and Brazil and all that.
And it's like he doesn't just speak politics or any of that. Like he really explores like everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking credit companies, like the credit, like with buying out your credit and then charging you for it and all that shit.
Yes, and
like that's like. And it's good to know. You're like, oh shit,
yeah,
I have to pay these motherfuckers.
Yeah, change your voicemail real quick.
He did things on student loans. He did things on educational system here and abroad. He goes over a lot of great topics that you think these other places should be talking about.
Is an Englishman who is an American treasure.
He really is.
Yeah.
And he plays Zazu in the new Lion
I know.
You watched the new Lion King, right?
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Really? At all? Like nothing of it?
Well, again, look, I think that the idea theoretically was dope, but they revamped everything. They should have just taken the old audio and put it on, man. And because the singing was subpar. I think John Oliver did his thing per se. But the graphics weren't there to emote yet. Like they didn't put the like Alita. You can see her emotions. You know what I mean?
I bought Alita, by the way. Like,
you did? I gotta watch it.
Come watch
yeah. I mean, your screen is as big as a real movie screen now. Fuck,
dude. Now with how close my couch is, we're in a fucking theater. I don't give a fuck.
That's the size of his TV right there. That's it.
It's not the size. That's about the right size.
Yeah.
Joe's Cheddar from the movie Empire. Do you remember that? The dude with the big stereo system in the world's smallest apartment.
So
vibing out to it.
Is there something about? I mean, I know you said you're a consumer, but there's something about TVs that you're just
saturated with,
and you're getting like.
Wait, no, we're.
I know Lion King. Let's go Lion King.
Sorry. We'll get back to that.
The singing isn't as good, personally. And I know people are like, "What? Beyonce was a part of that." Yeah.
People love Beyonce too much.
Did you stay through the whole thing, even the credits and everything?
Yeah, I stayed all the way to see if there was going to be anything extra.
Well,
and Scar.
I mean, like a Aladdin crossover or something.
They changed the Scar song. That was one of the better numbers.
Be prepared, yeah.
Yeah, like it was just dun 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 dun, like strings. And he was like, yeah, and he was like, da 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 da,
just like spoken word, yeah.
Yeah, and then he was like, be prepared.
Okay, now did you not like it just because
it wasn't the same thing? No, that's not. I'm saying like it. I looked like when they did the Scar number, I looked around and everyone in the theater was like,
well, so that's what they did.
What if they did a lead up to like Avengers and it was like a Kingdom Hearts at the end credits? And then
a Kingdom Hearts movie would be so hard to make and it would be almost impossible to make a Kingdom Hearts movie.
No, because look at Space Jam. All they would have to do is apply the same techniques of Space Jam.
It'd be impossible because that story is too convoluted to tell.
The first one?
Kingdom Hearts.
The first story.
Yeah, but if you're going to tell the first story, you're going to have to tell the whole story.
That's what I'm saying. They do it at the end of Aladdin, then Lion King. All the stuff, then Beauty and the Beast, all those movies that came out, they could do a little snippet like Avengers, and then you get the first Kingdom Hearts movie.
I'm listening
I just
to
want
what
to see
you're
expression.
saying. I'm listening to what you're saying.
but it's not making any sense.
It's just not, I'm not vibing with it, you know?
Fine, whatever. I just wanted to please Joe.
I hear you.
Well,
I hear you.
That's like the Dragon Ball Z movie. It was terrible. It was nowhere near what it should have been.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why a Kingdom Hearts movie will never work because
the graphics aren't there yet.
What is going to be a good movie off of video games, do you think? Is there anything coming up? I know there's talks of a Half-Life movie.
Oh, they're doing well, no, this doesn't. They're doing another Jumanji. Have you guys seen the trailer?
That's not a video game.
I mean, it's a board game.
I mean, World of Warcraft might come back.
Wait, there's going to be a part 3 to Jumanji?
Part 2.
Yeah. Because I saw the one with The Rock. And
yeah. Did you like it?
I thought
I fucking loved it. I have it. And I bought it.
I thought it was funny.
A lot of people talked a lot of shit, but I really liked it.
Dude, I thought it was a good adventure. I thought it was a great sequel. Like, I thought, obviously, like, Jumanji is one of my favorite films. Mm-hmm. I held a lot of sentimental value to it. So I love it just in general because I thought it was just a fucking great idea. You know, like it was the first movie I bought on VHS. Like it was legit, like one of my favorite movies. So I was super, super skeptical when I heard that Kevin Hart and The Rock were going
He's
to do a
doing it,
Jumanji
yeah.
movie. I'm like, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But
Then I watched it and I was like, motherfuckers. Fuck.
And Jack
They
Black
did.
played a 17-year-old
which
girl.
is Jack
funny.
Black
That's pretty
was
funny.
phenomenal.
That was hilarious.
So I'm super excited for this new one.
And Nebula's in it.
The cast is in it. The original cast is in it. So I think that's pretty dope. Not the original from the first Jumanji, or who knows, maybe they might.
Well,
But
they only had one person from the first Jumanji do a cameo, right? No, they didn't.
Ooh, no, they
didn't.
have
I thought they
anything.
did.
No,
I guess not. No.
I hope they do that for the second one.
That'd be kind of
pretty
cool.
dope.
But they should have just did it for the first one. If they were like, why would you skip a movie to put in a?
They talked about Alan. They talked about
They
Alan
did, they
Parrish.
did.
Yes.
They did.
When Nick Jonas's character
That's right.
he's
Came
like,
up,
yeah,
and there's some relics from his
yeah,
thing.
he's like, yeah, some guy was here before me. I guess
Yeah.
his name was Alan Parrish. You know, he builds all this.
Wait, is Nick Jonas? He's not going to be in it.
He is.
He is.
He's
oh,
in it
yes,
too.
that's right. 'Cause it
And I
looks
just
good.
like the idea that, okay, so for the sequel, you know, the
Oh, yeah,
cast
the
is back.
parents.
The cast is back, yeah, but now like the roles are switched.
a little
Like the characters have been scrambled, so it's the same actors, but they're playing different characters who are driving the
Danny
the
DeVito's
Avatar.
in it, and so is
Danny DeVito,
Donald Glover.
Oh.
Not Donald
no.
Glover. Donald not Glover. Danny Glover.
Danny Glover.
It's
Danny
funny.
Glover's in it. So
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a great movie. Just the sequences that you see on it, like when the
It looks
monkeys are
very
chasing
epic.
them,
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck, this
They
movie's gonna
upped
be
it.
sick."
They definitely upped it.
That's why I'm glad. I'm glad that they did well. I'm glad that it
So you
did
can
well.
see the sequel.
I'm glad that it's carrying on the legacy of what Jumanji was, because Jumanji, the original one, was just a big fuck show. It's like anything could happen, and like, you know, the roll of the dice, anything could happen.
I like that David
Robin
Allen Greer
Williams
was in
isn't
it.
here, man.
I love that David Allen Greer was in
And
it.
I was
What
like, yes, more for him.
Robin Williams isn't
Yeah.
here with
Yeah.
us anymore.
yeah.
Yeah,
But-
we can't hologram him
but-
back in or anything.
But the fact that the movie still did well and kind of paid homage
Mhm.
to
Speaking
his
of
character.
which, I didn't sign an NDA, so I don't think it matters. But I was
What?
on the set of Space Jam 2 the other day.
You can say
and-
that. He
Even
didn't
if you
sign an
didn't-
NDA.
Yeah. I didn't sign an NDA, but it's not like I'm out.
It's fine.
So can you believe people actually showed up on set and like started trying to record and release
course.
it
of
on their
course,
social media?
this is what we live in today.
like, how like
Wait,
disrespectful.
but did you sign an NDA with the company that you work?
No.
For? Oh, so then you're fine.
I was gonna say, did you sign anything at all from anybody?
Like
'Cause-
I'm not doing anything, like saying anything crazy. I'm just
Okay.
like, it was crazy because I showed up, and even though they've filmed all of us,
Mhm.
I stepped into a room where they had like a digital scan. Like they did a digital scan of me in
Oh,
case they
cool.
need me, in case they need to recreate me the way Princess Leia.
so they don't
exists.
need you anymore. Oh, yeah.
No, but I'm saying, like, think about the implications for the future. Of
Yeah, so you
acting.
don't have to act. They just do it's all computer. It's almost like the Final Fantasy movie. We're getting close to it.
Yeah.
Dude, that movie was the shit.
Advent Children. Or
Wait, are we
Spirits
talking about
Within?
Advent Children?
Yeah, the one-
Spirit Within, or
God, the first one that came out that was all CGI and it looked really real.
Yeah,
And it
he's-
was,
Spirit Within.
the Spirit
Yeah,
Within. They had
yeah.
they had a crazy cast. Like when I
They
think
did
about
have
it,
a
Steve,
cast.
I think Steve Buscemi was in it, wasn't he?
yes, yeah,
Mhm.
he was in it. Ving Rhames was Michael Clark Duncan.
Michael Clark Duncan.
But it was
yeah.
that
R.I.P.
movie
my
was
guy.
more like Starship Troopers than it was Final Fantasy.
It was
Pretty much. It didn't seem
have
Final
any
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy. about
There was
it.
no lore.
But I mean,
Yeah.
it didn't have to. It's Final Fantasy. It could be a story of anything.
they were just
That's the
testing,
whole-
yeah.
None of it relates to any of them at all, right? There's no
Of that
continuation
one of the
Well,
Spirit Within.
of all the video games. Like Final Fantasy 1 has no relation to Final Fantasy 7.
No.
Yeah.
That's true.
But
Well, because
besides some of
there's
the
two
elements, you know.
different stories in Final Fantasy. There's the crystal stories and the
Yeah, but even then, they're all separated.
That's
Like they're
true.
not all part of the same.
Yeah.
that's true.
They're all thematically similar, but as far as like story or universe, they're all
Mhm.
separate.
Every
Mhm.
Final Fantasy game though has a Sid.
Every fun.
Oh, Sid character?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, there was one that didn't. It was shit.
I never heard of that one
was-
before. Shit.
It was shit.
Shit. That's the name.
I can't remember which
Yeah.
one it was, but there was definitely one that didn't have a Sid,
I'm surprised you guys never
or
were.
a couple of them that didn't have a Sid. I can't remember
Maybe.
what it was.
I'm surprised you guys were never involved in any sort of gaming production. Like you were any test, like you
I
were
was a
test
video game
gamers.
tester.
Oh, you were.
Yeah, for Guitar Hero 2.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I got paid. But they fired me on the spot because I was writing too many notes, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because it wasn't like it was slowing me down compared to anybody else.
yeah, but they probably want to pop out that game with very little errors, so the person who sees all the errors has to get out so he can like.
Because I was like,
It's a corporation, man.
because I typed pretty fast, and
Yeah.
the guy came over like I don't even know how they knew, and he was like, "Hey man, I guess they were reading the responses as I was typing them on their end."
Yeah.
He was like, "You want to just keep it short, man?"
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he was kind of aggressive with it. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
It always reminds me of Grandma's Boy, though. I would always
Yeah.
think working at a company
Well,
would be like
that's
that.
exactly what it looked like
Oh, yeah.
inside the Activision
hmm
when I was out there. I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
It's right next door to where my brother went to school. I was with Activision when they did. I'm not sure if no EA. They did not Battlefront. Battlefield 1942. I played I was part of the test group that played it. Pretty awesome. But yeah, I'm just surprised like the involvement that you guys have isn't like heavily gaming since like you're not part of any sort of group like LAFC kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of let people get to my head with the whole like video games will never get you anywhere.
And now it's a $1 trillion industry with like
Yep.
arenas doing $1 million pots and like.
But I was also more into role playing games than I was like the games that people like. I can't fucking stand Call of Duty. I'm sorry, like I'm not
All
hating.
you gamer bros out there.
I'm not hating on anybody that enjoys the game. It's
Yeah.
just not my fucking game.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't see like I don't see because inherently the goal of the game is competition.
Well, are you talking about Call of Duty as a single player, multiplayer, or just a storyline, or just everything about it?
I don't know any storylines, but just in general, like the only one I ever started picking up a storyline to was the zombie one because that's the one that I was around for the most. But in general,
hmm
I don't know. I just like
So
the first person shooters and all that.
That's what I'm saying. So the genre of first person shooters is not your bag.
Yeah, like I never liked Doom either.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
The only reason I liked Killzone was because it happened to be around
Mm-hmm.
at a time when all of us were hanging out a lot, and so it was a way for us to just hang out.
Okay.
But the game itself, like I don't miss it. I don't sit there and like think back like, oh, I got to play it.
There's a few games out there that are first person shooters but lead towards fantasy style. And I'm not talking about like Elder Scrolls or anything like that, but I think if I can remember correctly,
Well, like Fallout, right? Like that's
Fallout. Yeah, I think
like
there's one called
fantasy
Prey.
world, yeah.
Bethesda has a long
Prey.
list of great Prey. Yeah, Bethesda is a crazy amazing company. Although some weird shit's going on with them in Elder Scrolls, which really sucks. So I really hope that doesn't hinder that game coming out. I know. Fuck.
Stop living.
I know, but
Gotta be real.
I don't know what I would do if I was like, I don't know if I saw the if I saw the trailer, like a releasing trailer that's not just the fucking landscape,
Graphics, yeah.
you know, and it shows me like the combat style, and I know I would nut in my pants pretty hardly if I saw that.
okay.
Like,
So
God.
like that's the thing. I've never come across like there's some people who have that same experience with
Mhm.
cars or some kind of sports team or like
For me, it'd be electronics and video games.
I've never in my life found anything that did that for me.
What about the podcast?
Where well,
It's like it doesn't do shit for me.
It's
I'm
just
empty
fucking-
inside.
Oh
I
shit!
think that there is a part of me that
Be a
is
book.
Maybe a book. You're saying there's nothing,
not,
nothing
not
out
even
there.
a book, man.
Okay.
My whole interest in books is purely practical. It's a way for me to either be more useful for myself or for others. It has never been about anything other than that.
Find the perfect woman.
Oh my god! Here we go.
I know, I said
Oh, no.
it,
The look on your face when Joe said that.
He's like,
Joe's like, "Come inside."
The thing is, I don't believe in perfect.
yeah. Well, I don't think. I would kind of agree with that. I don't think anything out there is
I think
100% perfect.
yeah, I think at some point it's going to come down to like,
Especially in
whose
mathematics,
bullshit
physics.
you want to put up with, or who's worth putting up with the bullshit for.
You're worth putting up with bullshit.
no one,
No one. You know how much me and Joe complain every day?
bro.
Fuck you, Joe.
No one is worth putting up bullshit, unnecessary bullshit.
Mhm.
I try to live my life as stress free as possible.
Me too.
Even when I'm
Stressed
under
out.
stress,
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. I try not to let emotions get the best of me.
It's
I try
hard.
I try to take everything with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just
You try
I
to be
try not to
impartial.
deal, yeah, I try not to deal with bullshit because You know, there's bullshit everywhere.
So because you go out of your way to make sure you don't bring the bullshit, it always is that much more upsetting when someone doesn't go out of their own way to keep the bullshit out, right?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
get it. I get because it's like you treat others how you want to be treated, but ironically,
it doesn't happen, and then it makes you even more upset and more frustrated.
because there are
stressed.
people
It's
who
like,
don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They're gonna want to treat others how they want to treat others, but not how they would want to be treated.
Yeah, I remember getting cut off and then flipped off for being cut off. I couldn't believe it. It was the wildest shit ever.
Because they were just like,
What are you gonna say, Philly?
I fuck this nerd. Fuck this black nerd.
You're the only one I know that like consistently brings up
driving.
Like how often you get cut off and flipped off at the same time.
It is an epidemic. It's horrible.
No respect.
There was a fire and I was trying to get through it. Some guy cut me off. Like,
I think every time I drive, there's always something going on. That's why I have to daydream.
Actively looking for somebody to cut you off. You'd be like, somebody cut me off.
I swear. I swear.
They see your little Sentra and they're like, watch this.
Kid is the type of dude that'll walk through a park at night with a taser gun, just like somebody tried to test
I need
me.
to feel alive.
It's that is what is known in Alderian psychology as a superiority complex.
Yeah. So there's nothing at all that would make your dick wet. That doesn't have to be female related. That will get. There's like you
how about a
have
song?
interest.
Has a song ever
this-
done?
Don't you
this
have
is-
interest?
You
have
never found a
interest.
song that you were like, oh.
No,
Like there's been moments where you came to me and I was gonna
Yeah.
say Philip, me and Joe. We're like, oh, you got to check this out, right?
well, that's the thing. Look, a lot of what I do, and I don't want to make this about me, but like just
This is about you.
Yeah,
I'll
You're the
quit.
one that's saying that you've never been pleasured.
we're not gonna have to focus on it now, Philly. Let's talk about it.
a lot. Well, I think if there was anything, the closest thing would be Final Fantasy VII. The closest thing.
You do have an
Tactics. What about
affinity for it.
tactics?
No,
He does. No, 7. Not
7 is
tactics.
his one.
What are they?
7
but,
is his
but
one.
I think it's because of the emotional attachment to it. Because for all intents and purposes, almost everything I do is practical in a sense. Like it's for all my impracticalness, a lot of what I do is practical
And that relates to the
in terms
game?
of intentions. Yeah, but as far as Final Fantasy VII,
Mm.
I just remember it was the first time I was sent out to live with my mom after my dad hit his ALS had hit like full blown. He can't take care of me anymore on some Stephen Hawking shit. So, I remember I was sent away, but thankfully Joe let me borrow Breath of Fire 3, and I think a PlayStation too. Actually, I think you left your PlayStation with
So
me
the
too.
PlayStation and a couple games.
I mean, you could say what you want about Joe, but he was pretty selfless for that because he didn't have to give me that. He was just
I
like
beg to
he was
differ.
just like, here, Philly.
My dick. Oh. I gave you a shirt today.
And at that
Thank you.
time, believe it or not, even though like we all grew up together, Joe and I weren't necessarily that close. Like I was his little cousin. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what it was.
I mean, like that's
yeah, like we weren't homies.
Or hanging out.
I was his little cousin. You
Oh,
know what I
okay.
mean? At that time, it'd be the equivalent of like some of our little cousins now. You know, like he was like,
Yeah.
all right, but Joe still had love for me even then. And it probably was due to like circumstances and all shit and whatever. But anyways, and after I moved with my mom, a couple months later, we moved again. In fact, moving has just been a theme of my whole life. I moved to a new place and there was some kid across the street. I don't know, because my mom was kind of like, we were in Cudahy, and even though my mom was a white girl, she got involved in like gangs. She was part of 18th Street and all this shit.
No shit.
Yeah. My mom had the La Vida Loca tattoo in 18th Street. She threw up the gang sign a couple of times. Like my mom, and she knew Spanish
Where was
like,
she
pretty
from?
well. She's like French from like Oregon and
Wait,
shit.
so you only had one mother, one father, right?
Yeah.
Because you said you had 8. Oh my God. Hold on. Just let me lead this towards somewhere. Okay.
There can only be one life, one king. No. I've had a lot more stepfathers than I have stepmothers.
I was gonna say because you have 18 siblings.
Okay. Anyways, so we moved to this place, right? As was regular for that time, and because my mom was involved with gangs, I guess she already knew some of the people in the neighborhood, and one of those guys had a kid whose name was Eduardo. I still remember. He was a little on the heavy side, but he was a good dude. And like he had just bought this game, but because when he came over, he found out it was my birthday. He's like, "Hold on, I'll be right back." And he came back and he gave me Final Fantasy VII for my birthday because it was my birthday.
Okay.
And he was like, "I just want to let you know, man. Like, life ain't that bad, man." I was like, "What?" You know what I mean?
This is coming from like the son of a well-known gang member, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they were all gang. I mean, like,
how does your mom would get in it? Like, do you?
Well,
I
know how it happened.
Well, we don't have to get into like real specifics.
No, it's not too crazy or hard to understand. My mom was a runaway, like from like the age of 15, 16, from like Oregon upstate California. So she did what she had to do. You know what I mean? She just happened to have met my dad at the beach, and that my dad was working at the arcades.
That's
at
crazy.
Santa Monica Pier. Yeah, and so I don't know how my dad did it, but he pulled her, man. And my dad is dark.
Damn, that's a wild story because that's the same.
But he had
story.
like the long hair. He was like the rocker with all the
was broken English.
Yeah,
California style.
My dad was a fucking badass dude.
I wonder if things would be different if I was around back in those days, like 80s, 70s.
Oh, it would have been.
Would I
hard
still
for
be
all
the
of
same
us.
person?
It would be hard for all of us. We would not be the same people, man.
Living in Los Angeles?
Hell yeah. And even worse if we were living in New York, man. That was not a fucking place to be in the 80s, man.
Really? With Wall Street and all that stuff? And all the cocaine and drugs?
I'd probably be addicted to crack.
Knowing Joe's affinity with being open to whatever.
And I'd just be hanging out in Studio 54 in the back.
Go, bro.
Yeah.
Chilling on fucking Sunset with all the
right. And so because of that, I think that was one of the first times, because as a kid, it was hard for me to make friends in general. A lot of the fact had to do with the fact there was a lot of anger, violence at home. I didn't really come into my own person as a person until the age of maybe 14, 15. Around the time when I finally moved back to LA after my long trek of several moving to different houses and different schools. Like I went to a lot of schools. Yeah, actually, when I first moved back to LA, it was with Randy and Melissa.
Oh, okay.
Brandy and Melissa, yeah. And then they moved out. They weren't happy with the situation, and so Danny came in, and then it was just Danny and I.
By yourselves?
Yeah. We were, and then after that, Joe's dad asked Joe to come stay with him while Joe pursued the music career.
Yeah,
and so then so then that changed the game, and
when Papa Joe came in, it was a wrap.
Wait, oh yeah,
I'm Papa Joe.
Damn.
I remember too. Like Joe was working at Staples, and he was like, "I'm only here because they asked me to stay here. Fuck you guys." Dude, when he first came through, Joe thought he was the hottest shit around, bro. With his fucking shirt on over his neck, not even all the way.
Oh my god! You worked at Staples Center?
No, at Staples.
The store.
Joe was like, "I was doing just fine, player. I did not need to be here." And I was like, "All right, whatever."
Didn't you also work at Jamba in high school? You worked at Jamba.
This was after high school. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, after high school, you worked at Staples.
Joe was like 19, 20, around that time.
20, yeah.
But everyone who was 19 or 20 had that attitude.
Not everyone.
It wasn't until several countless bottles of Alizé, Cristal, Crown Royal, and everything else that all of us kind of calmed down.
Really?
Yeah, but by the time I was like in 11th grade, I had to quit alcohol because...
What the fuck?
It was just too. I was like living like 21-year-old at the age of like 14, 15.
Damn, talk about an influence.
Yeah. What's up? Here, what's up?
Meanwhile, kids at school were just worried about crossing the street to smoke a joint. I was like, please. We had bricks of weed.
You seen that video of Arnold Schwarzenegger when he smokes the stogie?
Yeah.
Like, I smoke my stogie where I want. I'm not a pussy like you. That was filmed. He's like, man, that joint, slide that shit over here, man.
It's crazy, man, because I that's why it was so enthralling and crazy and free where we lived and how we lived that when I took two of my closest high school friends over, they basically moved in.
Quit school.
Really?
They quit school, and it was because of that I kept going to school.
Because you're like, I don't want to be like them, just quitting on school.
Yeah, I started moving against it all, but it wasn't like a personal vendetta. I just realized that it wasn't going to get me anywhere because I saw the results of it. For me, I was like, keep in mind that I have what I would call an inferiority complex where I need to be chasing something that makes me feel like I'm not entirely useless. You know what I mean? So there is that. Whereas most other people are comfortable with where they are, who they are, and what they're doing. You know what I mean? So it's more of a reflection of me than it is of them. But some people can misinterpret my behavior and think that it's me looking down upon people, but it's not. You know what I mean? I just wanted more, man. You have to, if you think about my story and where I'm coming from, no parents, and again, it's not to say that my story is the worst, because it's not. But if you think I never had anything, and once I started becoming self-aware and self-conscious, I wanted something, and to this day, I'm still chasing it. But I got to tell you, man, no matter how hard I worked, the one thing you can't work against is time. You can only work with it.
You're right.
You can only fucking work with it.
That's why I got all the time in the world, bro. I got time today.
Joe.
Look at me. Look
my
at how great I turned out.
Honestly, dude,
Well,
I'm the master of my universe. That's the way I see it.
One
I'm
way or
the
another,
master
yeah.
of my universe.
You never went so far as to permanently damage anything you're doing in your life.
I'm out here trying to destroy that. I'm trying to ruin
can try.
that ego. I know I'll
You
never
can try
I feel like Dragon
every
Ball Z.
day.
I'll never succeed.
You'll never succeed, buddy.
I
I am the master of my universe. I do.
It's my sole
what I
effort to bring
want
you down.
when I want. You know, I take care of what I have to take care of.
That's true.
You know, I make sure that everybody's solid around me.
And your father and mother didn't teach you that. You picked that up on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty.
I like to think that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I left the crib when I was like 15.
Yeah.
My mom's crib.
Because you just weren't having it. You were
Yeah, I was
I'm
like,
sure.
nah, I'm gonna do my thing.
Did it have a lot to do with like religion and things
Yeah,
like that?
absolutely.
Oh, that's right, because you were raised
Which-
Jehovah's Witness.
Which
Yeah.
makes a lot more sense.
Had
as
a
to
lot of
why-
Not to say
restrictions.
anything against the Jehovah's Witness, because I have
Right.
no issue with you know the people. It's just not my cup of
Right.
tea. I'm not fucking with it.
And
like-
they're very adamant
Restrictive,
about making
yeah.
sure that whoever's around them adheres.
They have
to
a lot of it's a lot of restrictions.
It's like Scientology.
Yeah.
In a
So
way.
to me, it's like nothing against the religion or everything against the religion. I don't know, but it wasn't me, you know. So
How did your parents
I just
meet?
paved my way? Shit, I don't remember.
He's like, that's a good question.
I think they were they didn't like school together, night school or something.
Oh,
I know they were in night school together. They went to uni.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
all our family went to uni.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
My dad, I think, studied some night
I
classes.
wish I
there.
had a school like that. The whole family went. We have like plaques on the wall and shit.
It's literally a tradition of our family to
Yeah.
have
To
gone
go
to
to
that high
uni.
school.
Somebody
Yeah.
has to go to
You
uni.
gonna get your kids to go to uni?
I doubt it.
Oh, yeah.
I doubt
I
that.
doubt that.
I doubt that.
I doubt that. No, but
Oh.
yeah, dude. I just
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't know. Maybe because for the first time ever, someone told me that I act like I'm better than everybody. And
That was me.
no.
Oh,
but-
well, at least I'm continuing that.
no,
If
but
you- if you ever
but are
said
you
that-
serious about it? Or when you tell me that?
half and half.
Oh, really? Shit,
Sometimes,
fuck. Damn.
sometimes I was
Because I think
yeah.
I'm a pretty cool. I think I'm a pretty.
Oh, I've got a perfect example.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball.
Like our cousins Angel and Juan think that you don't want to talk to them, but I know that it's not true.
Yeah.
But just like they're like, oh, I call him and he doesn't ever call me back, or I'll text him and he never
Shit,
texts me
man.
back. You see, like,
Oh, well,
I'm
not
so-
on that
fucking
level.
asshole.
but I know that you don't do it like, oh, fuck them. You're probably just a million things in one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm
I'm gonna
totally
reach out
different
to
than
them.
what I'm saying.
Well,
I'm
by the way,
different.
Juan is currently away on like the Asian continents, so he's not really. He just sent me a message because he's in the army. He's like, I can't
Serving?
really-
Oh, I was
he's
gonna
like,
say, yeah.
I can't really talk to you, but just tell everybody I love them and that I'm okay.
Mad respect to the U.S. military and all of our troops who are out there.
Yeah.
Thank you for serving for our country.
Don't say that with a smile,
Sure.
man.
I mean it. My family
Yeah.
was in the military. I had my one of my uncles. He was in the Navy. My papa, my grandfather that you both met, he was in the Air Force. I tried to apply to military companies and they didn't hire me.
Did you do the
Fucking
physical
assholes.
test?
I didn't even get that far.
Oh wow! They
I
took one
applied
look at you
everywhere.
and they were like-
DOD, FBI, CIA, NSA, Raytheon, Northrop.
They were like, "You're
Boeing.
but you're not that good.
I know. I applied to all that
We
stuff.
need MIT.
I know. Yeah, I was a C&D student. As much as people nerd me out, Like, no, I was
Nah, but see, I don't consider academics to mean anything. Like,
well in that
what
industry, yeah, it means
well,
everything.
yes, okay,
Yeah.
yes, but I know a shitload of people who graduated college that are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Facts.
yeah, you're learning something and you're getting a doctorate or you're doing whatever in one specific thing,
Mhm.
but you're still a fucking moron in everything else. Like,
Hmm.
so
It's like the difference between
I'd like to think we're smarter individuals outside of school because you've learned probably so much more
outside.
being out of school than you did when you were in school.
Got a
I
girlfriend.
I truly believe that's just the consequence of an outdated educational system.
Yeah, the way it goes now, I don't know. I wanted to extrapolate on all the stuff we talked about before with
Extrapolate?
Joe.
I'm just gonna
Extrapolate.
let him ride.
Fuck you guys.
Ride that train.
Whatever. Anyway. No,
Hey, wait, but for real, you guys think that I think I'm better than people?
Oh no, I don't. I
when
don't.
we played
But,
Dragon Ball.
Well, yeah, I'm better than you at that game. So
No,
yes, of course.
but the reason why I don't feel that way around you, Joe, is because like if we're gonna look at it in terms of like alpha, beta, whatever,
I think he's an alpha.
I'm more of the, like, I guess the word is omega. Like I'm not necessarily outcast per se, but like I just don't care. I don't want to be part of the hierarchy, and I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? Uh, whereas a lot of people try to fight for the number one spot, but the point is, like, some people are just naturally put on the number one spot in any circle. So for example, perfect case example is if you've ever watched Joe do any shows or anything he's ever been a part of, he always ends up having a large group around him that surrounds him.
You mean like performing shows?
Just whether any ambition in Joe's ever had, somehow he's always been able to develop a big group around him and around that cause, right? Whereas, like, no matter what I do, no matter how much I read, and no matter what I know, I can't keep a collected group together for two reasons. And number one is that I don't provide that energy. I'm more of like a one-on-one. I'm like fucking Merlin or Morpheus.
Morpheus had a crew.
I fuck with it.
More than I am Neo.
No, because but Morpheus was the outcast. He was the black sheep.
But he still had it. He wasn't the outcast within his circle.
Well,
he still had a circle
within this little circle.
But it seems like Philly's saying he doesn't even have that circle, or he can't attain that circle.
No, that he can't maintain it.
That I can't maintain.
He can get it, but
Morpheus was able to maintain it.
No, he needed the one. True. Once he had the one, then everybody flocked.
Tomato, potato. Like it.
Tomato, potato.
He's just trying to call back the old episodes.
You're
good. You're good. I think that's why we all compliment each other.
Yeah. My stuff is based on observation. So I've seen plenty of times where you took the role.
You got a squirter.
Where I can't recall exactly because I don't write them down, but I do recall or have some memory of when you were at a certain moment where, like, yeah, I'm the shit. And I'm like, what? How,
But that's not me saying that I'm better than everyone.
No, but at that moment, I was like, oh,
just me being secure with myself doesn't mean that I'm better than everyone.
Sometimes, depending on the situation,
Tomato,
it can come out.
You my dick.
And I think a lot of that again has to do with because I got to grow up with Danny and Joe the way I did. It taught me a lot about, like, where people stand and how a hierarchy can develop in a group and people. And, like, I just found that, like, the easiest way for me to feel like I'm winning is just to not deal with it at all and go do my own fucking thing. But there are people who want to be included. You see what I'm saying? And when you want to be included, when you want to be a part of an experience, you nevertheless place yourself within the experience of a hierarchy of who is running what show, who follows whose decision is the most favored amongst the group. Like, if somebody says, nah, let's play this game, and then everybody wants to play that game, as opposed to a big disagreement. If you notice, anytime you hang out with Joe, there's very little disagreement about who's going to do what when you're in a large group. It's very rare that you'll come across someone who's like, no, I don't want to do that.
Wait a minute, what do I do?
Submit to me. you reach, you extend your hand.
See,
I can touch it.
This is why I say what I say.
and the point I was getting to is, like, people want to be included, right? To a large degree, people want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And then there are some people who also want to be that center role.
And what do you want to be a part of, or do you want to be a part of anything?
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
You're trying to
and this
find-
comes back to like Final Fantasy VII and all the things. Like, there's very little that calls to me, man. Very little that actually calls to me. Like, you know, some people will see something and go, "Oh man, I just love this subject."
Yeah. Like for me in Rome.
Yeah.
Subject of Rome.
Like it's not easy for me. The only thing that calls to me like that, and I was gonna ask you guys about this, is like language, like learning alternative languages. Like that. The only thing is that I'm ever like. I remember the first time I decided I was gonna quit doing music, acting, any other ambition I ever had, and I just spent the last months of LA before moving to New York. I spent it at a cafe in Koreatown, perfecting my Korean, and it was possibly some of the happiest moments of my life because I wasn't obligated to anyone. My dad had just passed away. My girlfriend at that time had dumped me because I got in a fight with my best friend per se, and decided I wasn't going to be his best friend anymore, and so she used that, and then some other story as one of her closest friends, she found out had been stealing money from the store that they were working at, over $10,000+. And
Jesus.
yeah. And so because of that, she felt like she didn't know anybody anymore. And how could she trust anyone? And so like somehow I got thrown into that. And so at that time I just decided, cool, everything I'm done with. It was a really tough time at that time, but me just focusing on one thing and doing one thing only and watching the progress has possibly been the happiest time of my life.
That's dope, though. So why don't you learn a new language, or focus more on Korean?
I know. I think I need to look into that, which is what I'll bring up in my soapbox pretty soon. Yeah, when we get there.
Pretty soon. Where are we right now? I don't even.
Yeah, we're about there.
Oh shit! Okay. Dang, it didn't even feel like it.
No.
This has been a really smooth episode.
Yeah.
I've really liked the pace that we kind of ran in.
And for you listeners, I hope you have too.
Hey listeners, does it feel like we've been with you for I don't know how long?
Such a long time.
Such a long
time. Man, I hope that your traffic has been cut by 80% because you were listening to our rambles. This guy. Keenan, get off your damn phone.
I am.
Something important is happening.
Keenan's like, sorry, when I finish this, all
beyond important. Like I made a promise that I don't think I can keep.
There you go, Keenan.
You know what though, Keenan? I understand that
promises.
because I have a few things I need to do. Like my little sister recently had a daughter, and I ended up having to go to like Texas. And, like since then, yeah, and then since then I ran into that health problem, and I've had sleeping problems and just issues in general.
Yeah,
and so I haven't gotten around to go see my new niece, and like it's on the back of my mind, picking away at my brain. Like I need to set the time up. So like I get it, man.
I get it. Yeah,
I get it.
Well, then with that, let's head to our soapbox talk.
Dun 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 dun
Keenan,
dun dun dun.
Would you like to open with your soapbox talk?
He's like, well, there's technical difficulties.
So for those who don't know what the soapbox is, if you're a first-time listener, soapbox is we give each host / guest whoever comes on. What?
Keenan's a guest, by the way.
Host / guest.
Doing this for so long.
No,
I'm
but
pretty sure
we probably have new listeners.
Yeah.
You know, so okay. So soapbox is each host / guest gets a moment to kind of speak on what they want to speak on. It could be anything from a shout out to venting to, you know, promoting something. Yeah, we just give you an uninterrupted. That's the fucking word I was looking for. Uninterrupted moment to speak on what you want to speak on. We usually open, if we have a guest, we'll open with the guest. If we don't, it's usually Keenan. So Keenan, you beautiful, beautiful black man, hit us with your soapbox.
Speak on it. He's like, sorry guys,
hit
I'm
us
still
with
texting.
your fucking soapbox. You're gonna make your show. It starts at 7. It's 6:15.
to get to North Hollywood in less than 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Okay.
But you got to
Just gotta hurry your ass up.
But I gotta set. Okay.
Jesus.
Or not, Keenan. We
Why
could just
not?
skip you for this episode, actually, since you don't have anything to complain about.
Oh, he does. He has something in the chamber. Look at him. Keenan, God damn it.
Okay, my soapbox talk is Joe and his bitch ass complaining and rushing me. You know what? You know how much I dedicated to this show? And you know how I'm just going to say about you right now because you can't talk back. So fuck you. Fuck everything you represent. I love you. Kiss.
I feel-
Always drinking water.
Go ahead.
Fuck. No, it was, I mean, there was a bunch of stuff I was thinking in my mind, you know, from dating homeless women to fucking sex trafficking and all that stuff. But no, it was I don't know. It's there's a whole bunch of stuff that always goes in my mind and frustrates me. Right now I have to get to something that I made a promise to. That I did. I still at least, you know, fuck. This is a horrible. This is a horrible soapbox. Thank you all for listening.
All right, Keenan, we're gonna try this again. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the part of the episode where we get our soapbox on, and I know Keenan's got something in the chamber.
No, that's cool, Philly. I appreciate it, but I'm just.
You should know better than to come with something on the chamber, though. You know, you're always supposed to rub one out before you start.
God damn it, Keenan.
Why does it always have to be me first? Maybe that's my soapbox.
All right, I'll go first.
Okay,
I'll go
well,
first.
fuck,
Okay, I'll go
yeah.
first then. I'll go first.
Make
All
it
right.
quick because I got somewhere. I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm kidding.
All right, so this is twofold, but it is quick. Number one is I haven't necessarily found out how to make it better, but water. It's a big problem. Not how we use it, like brushing our teeth, going to the bathroom, and washing our clothes. That's not what's killing. There's 90% of water in the world is salt water that we can't use, and then a couple other percent is what we use for crops, and then there's like really look at it. There's really like 1% water that we actually have access to of all the water in the world, and the way we use it to grow the crops that feeds the cows that we then eat. It takes like 1,000 liters of fresh, clean water to make one cheeseburger. So you got to keep that in mind. We flush 3 liters of water when we take a shit or a piss, right? And so there are already cities in the world that are suffering, and we've tried other ways like digging deeper in the ground to get cleaner water, but that's causing erosion in the soil of like Mexico City. So big problems. I'm not going to sit here and badger your ear, but you should look into it because one day, whether you like it or not, it will affect you, your children, and your children's children, or the children of your loved ones, whether that be family or friends. So it's something you should really look into. I won't go any further on that. But what I will say now is part of that, and me taking and understanding that I like languages, I'm sincerely considering shifting direction big in my life. And I've noticed that no matter what it is I do, it's always so easy for me to start to show that I excel, whether it's entertainment, any hobby I pick up, I get pretty good at it if I stick with it, right? Truly, proverbially. But they never, like, it literally does not scare me to walk up to a group of people and start speaking publicly. I don't have a fear of public speaking. But I need to start dreaming big because I'm a firm believer that if your dreams don't scare you, if the things you do every day don't scare you or make you feel challenged, you're not doing something that's good for you. You're not dreaming big enough. And the only thing I personally can think of at this time that would make me feel like, wow, I got my work cut out for me, is if I go and I try to pursue the path of politics. Like, I'm going to try, and I know I'm going to fail, but I'm going to try and be able to be an eligible candidate nominee to be a president in 2030. I'm going to start doing that shit. And I'm dropping it right here. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to do it, but I'm going to take on that role because that's the only way I'm going to feel like I'm doing something, like I'm actually making progress. I'm going to pick up my interest in languages again, and I'm going to improve them because one way or another, I think me making music, me personally, as a person that I am, knowing myself, I don't think that's the best use of me. I think I have the gift if I wanted. I have cultivated the skill, But I think there's a lot more. And I say this because a long time ago, I went to go do, I hired someone to take photos and make a video of me for my acting reel. And in the middle of me talking to him, he gets away from the camera, looks me in the eyes and goes, "Why do you want to be an actor? I feel like you have so much more to offer the world than that." And I never forgot that. And I think that unless I do something this big, then not only will I not feel challenged, which is probably why I don't fucking care about all this shit that I do, even though I love the people that I've worked with. Part of the reason I think is just because I haven't fucking really gone for what I think would be the ultimate test. And I'm happy if I fail because look at what I'm failing at. So that's my soapbox.
That's going to be the name of this episode. Philly for Prez.
2030.
God damn. That's a big bomb.
Wouldn't it be 2032? No, it would be
Sure, whenever. In that time span.
10 years after 2020.
Yeah.
It's every 8. That's not a long time. Really is
I
not
know.
that far away.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Got my work fucking cut out for me, man. If Garcetti's listening, I need to volunteer for you. I need to learn the landscape. I don't know a damn thing about politics.
You're just a
well,
current
you
president.
fucking live down the street from a
Yeah, I've heard bad things about Gil Cedillo, but I also like never seen him around. But maybe I'll start there.
Why not? God damn, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Ken, hit us with your soapbox. You better hit us with your motherfucking soapbox, okay? Fuck you up.
Why are you so nervous this time, Keenan?
Because
You're only eating up your time.
well, I just God, no, it's too late. I can't get there in 30 minutes.
Do you just want to skip your soapbox? And
I
leave,
can't. I
Keenan?
don't know. I'm not sure what to do now because I was supposed to be there an hour before the show starts. The show actually starts at 7. It's already 6:30 now, which means even if I get there, I can't do the setup that I normally do and make sure that the system is, is in check. Like the diagnostics to all this stuff running is functional, and then somebody else has to do it. But now I have to tell
Are you getting paid for this?
I haven't submitted my billing yet. So I am supposed to get paid, but I have to send a bill. If I don't send a bill, I don't get paid. But the thing is that it's still a commitment to what I stated prior, pay or no pay. I made a commitment and I want to follow through my commitment. And now I'm doing, even if I just would have said an hour ago, I can't make it, but I didn't. I was engaged in this conversation, and that's no fault to anybody. If I just said, I'm not going to make it. I'm running a little late on this show. Can anybody else just do this one little task, and then I'll come and do the cleanup?
Are you
and
on
I
Slack
didn't do
or
it.
anything? No?
Huh? No, I'm not. I'm on Slack, but they're not on Slack.
Oh, okay.
But I have easy communication. I could have just sent out a text, but I didn't do that. And now it's just like, I obviously don't know the feelings and thoughts of the person, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be too bad. But part of me does feel like the person's going to be like, "Hey, I thought you were going to be there. You were there for the past couple of times, and we were looking forward to having your assistance."
Do they know that you're a podcaster?
Yeah, and they know I do this, and they know I do it every Sunday. But then again, like everything leading up to it wasn't planned. I mean, I didn't plan for anything to happen with you guys prior. I didn't plan for us to start
Right, it tended to be a
later.
longer day than usual. Yeah,
I
sure.
can't foresee those functions. So midway through our podcast, I should have just sent out a text saying I can't make it. But I didn't do that, and that's what's getting on my brain because it's matters of principles and.
So your soapbox for today is like, you guys have to understand how hard it is to keep your word.
Yeah. It's very hard because then they don't know, or they kind of know what I go through, but then it's like there's those people that are still like, well, if you would have just sent me something, I would have handled it. But it's like, well,
You could do it now. It's still 30 minutes before.
I did. I said I would.
Did
probably,
they say something?
I said I could say I don't.
You haven't said anything, have you?
No, I said I would be, if I try and leave now, I can probably get there by 7:30. And I asked if that's too late, and they said that the show starts at 7:30, so it is too late. And I said, all right, well maybe I can see if I can leave, within the next 20 minits or so. But that's not going to happen because I still have to get there and set up. So now it's
things
like
happen, man.
yeah. So now I don't know. It's
Do
Do they listen to this show?
It's the what do you call it? The IG stuff. They don't listen to it fully.
Okay.
Oh, well then fuck them.
I just think that did you know
I would just hit him and be like, "Look, guys, sorry, like whatever."
Yeah, yeah.
You're
I
right. You probably should have done it earlier, or if you would have let us know that you already had that commitment, we'd have been like, "Oh shit, then what are we fucking around here for?" Like,
Yeah.
God damn it, Keenan.
but see, oh, so I mean, I look at it and I sense hesitation even in just being a part of
why
that.
Are you hesitating?
Huh?
There's a degree of hesitation in your involvement with them. It just sounds like because I'm not calling you out on it. What I'm saying is like if it really was that important to you, because I know who you are and I know how you operate, you would have made sure. So yeah, so part of you, based on what I've known you for a while now, part of you is telling me without you actually saying it that there may be a slight feeling of underappreciation or who knows what. Because you, knowing you, when you're appreciated, you always make it top notch priority. You really do.
Well, that's why I'm upset is that I didn't make it. That I didn't cut. I didn't. The top priority was this podcast. So, and I didn't want to be like, "Fuck you guys, I'm out of here," or let's cut it short because of other stuff that's not related.
You should know that you can though.
Well,
Yeah,
I know that now that I know that. I didn't know.
Should have known from the beginning.
Well, you never made it clear from the beginning, Joe. You don't communicate properly with me.
Eat my dick.
With pleasure.
Hey, what's
Oh
up?
God.
No, but not the point is my.
Also, no one's perfect, Keenan. We all fall short of our expectations.
The question is, how do I handle the situation where it's like, all right, I can't make it, you know, and then like I said, I still haven't sent the bill yet. Now I got to go and send a bill. Be like,
What?
you know,
Now they're not gonna pay you because you missed one day? Like,
I don't know.
fuck no.
It's a theater thing.
Oh man.
Yeah,
no,
but also it's not like you're an employee. You were contracted to build something, right?
We're contracted to be part of the situation.
Yeah.
Being
That was
if you were an
being courteous.
employee and you're being paid hourly, so like you haven't submitted your bill for what you already built. That's different from you submitting a bill and then showing up on set every single time that
Are they going to pay you for setting up every single time? Are they paying you for all that stuff?
The setup is
for the time that you go to
That's
get
just
there
you
to
being
set
nice,
up.
Well, it's just me because it didn't work. No, not being nice because it's the billing for building it is not complete. It keeps leaking out water. There's a hole in it somewhere that I didn't never fix. So I'm just constantly patching it up every show, but there's still some big ass leak. So I didn't complete what I was paid for. It's an unfinished.
You haven't been paid though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if I'm going to say
we're wasting so much time.
We are. Well, I mean,
if you're trying to get over there.
It's crazy, actually.
What? I'm just saying I know I'm not going to make it at 7, guaranteed. So now what am I supposed to do? Say I can't make it and then show up still after 7?
Well, it's a good thing this is the None of Our Business podcast, Kenan. And that we're discussing this openly because this shows the thought process behind integrity. What you're concerned about is whether or not you've had integrity in this situation. And the truth is you have. And what has happened is a simple accident, slip of mind, and it happens all the time. And you can say, hey, look, sorry, man, things got out of hand. I didn't see it. I didn't see time fly by. I can make it there when I get there. I don't want to break any rules of traffic on my way over.
Because what are they going to do? They're going to start the show and not let you in?
No, they have to start the show.
Yeah.
Regardless.
They have an intermission. You show up and do whatever you're going to do.
My question is this to you, Keenan, and I know it's only partially relevant, but it's a good question to think about. Would they be texting you the same things you're about to text right now if they were running late to something that you invited them to?
I don't think I've ever had that situation with them.
Just to show the level of integrity and the level of expectation you place upon yourself that others rarely do. You're harder on yourself than most people, Keenan. And it's important that you understand just how much you're doing for others. And this is coming from someone who has a similar issue.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand how much you go out of your way for others and what that does to you. And the only person, and if they are upset, it's unjust. because that's an expectation that you set and that you alone should have the control over. They should just be grateful that you're even a part of it. It's a fact.
Okay.
And that's why you should vote for me in 2030 as president.
It's up to you, Keen. Are you done with your soapbox talk though? Because
Yeah. I'm sending out
I'm
a
trying to make
message.
this humorous. I know you're probably going through shit right now in your mind, but I think for the amount of work and dedication you've provided, you know, a slip up is a slip up, and if they take it some type of way and
Really, the only thing you should be getting
Yeah.
as a text is, "Oh, don't worry about it, man."
yeah,
Mm.
it might
Which used
just
to
be
happen.
that.
It used to happen like that.
What do you mean?
Why
They used to just say,
the
"Don't worry about
person
it."
the person I'm talking to is like that. Don't worry about it. We'll figure something out, or I'll get somebody else, or something like that.
Right.
But
And now he isn't.
well, no, yeah, now because I think I took too long to say something. I should have said something at
Have they
6.
said anything yet?
Not now.
Yeah.
No.
So why are you assuming that they're not going to be cool with it?
Well, I don't know, because normally they would
Because
say
technically,
something.
if the show starts at 7:30, it's 6:30 right now. That's
7
an hour.
starts at 7.
But you just said 7:30.
7.
That the show
Okay,
starts.
so
at
the
7:30.
so the show starts at
7.
7, and it's,
So it's still 30 minutes before anything happens yet.
Yeah,
So
I'm-
they could still set up and have plenty of time to.
they have
Do
to
it.
have somebody do my current checkup.
which is fine, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look, dude.
But I have to
again,
let them know to do that.
Sure.
Be like, yo, guys.
At the end of the day, people
Apologies. This
they
show
should
ran.
just be
yeah.
grateful that you're a part of it, man.
Dude, this is. I don't.
If
I
you were
don't-
running late to this and for whatever reason you
You
couldn't
can
make it,
say it.
Can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
This.
I'm not gonna cry.
No, it's okay. This is why I felt that a certain collective didn't appreciate you because you were dedicated to doing a bunch of stuff, and there was zero. There was
no
little
fucks
to
given.
none.
Yeah.
like appreciation shown. So this is the shit that gets me mad. Anyway, we're over
it's
here.
the expectations that you place on yourself
Yeah.
that nobody else did, and then that they take advantage of.
Yeah.
Mm.
dude, I hate that shit. Anyway,
Kenan, you're a dope
do you want to
dude.
do a soapbox?
Oh, I thought that was my soapbox.
Oh,
The
we're fucking around, but you're welcome to do whatever.
the no
You're
no
welcome to do a soapbox if you want.
no. Well, that would be. I guess now thinking about it, that would be my soapbox. The amount of stress I put on myself to do work for other people.
I love
that
you,
gets
man.
unnoticed.
And I hate seeing people take advantage of you or not
Yeah.
show appreciation. So
That's why I
my
take
best
credit
friend.
where I can't.
eat a dick. And with that, I'm gonna go on to my soapbox. You know, a lot of things have been happening in my life. Work, home, just a bunch of things, And I never really take the time to I never take the time to just take it all in, I do. I mean, I like to have fun. I like to go out. I do, I like to do a bunch of stuff, but I've never, as far as I could think, it's been ages since I took like some sort of vacation or did something. Like if I'm traveling, like I'll take advantage of any little time that I have, like in between gigs and stuff. If I'm like say in another state or whatever, but it's not really a vacation, I'm just taking, a day or whatever. I fucking need a vacation. I think I need a vacation. I think I just need to disconnect myself from everything that I do for literally like a vacation, like go away for a week and just not allow anything to bother me, not allow work to get into my psyche. I think I'm at that point where I'm like, it's not that I'm overwhelmed with everything, but there's just a bunch of shit, and I'm like, you know what, I do need a vacation, so I'm probably gonna be planning something soon, just to get away from everything and reset. I haven't done that, and I have a lot of vacation time that has never been used. See, that's work calling me right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I got to take care of me a little bit. I do, like I said, I do have fun and I do go out and I do things, but it's still like within that spectrum of I gotta go back to work in 8 hours. You know, I gotta do some other shit, and I definitely need I need a vacation. So I'm gonna be doing that soon. Be doing that soon. I'm not here next week, guys. Obviously, you know, the
Unless we come to
the
you.
listeners, unless you guys come to me, which it looks like it might happen. I
It
don't know.
depends. I think there's a good chance. Should nothing come in the way, I should be able to.
Yeah. So
Keenan and I can take a road trip, I guess.
because
That's the most
technically, I don't
important.
know
You're
that
dreading
we,
it. If it happens,
Well, if it's the
you're
two
like,
of us driving, it shouldn't be a problem.
I don't know. You can touch me if you want.
We'll just grab a couple of yerba mates. And
Yeah.
hit
It'll
the
be cool
back
if you
road.
guys are able to drive.
I've been wanting to go see what San Francisco
Keenan
is
can
like.
give
And
you a
who
little-
better,
little
who
tour.
better than
Yeah.
Keenan to introduce me to San
Nothing is
Francisco?
the same. Nothing would be like what he remembers.
I
But
could have swore this was here.
He's like, what is this? Where did this?
I'll do my
on
best
to
to
the
keep
next strip
Keenan away
club.
from the
Yeah,
homeless
but
women.
you know, and obviously I'll get some time to step away too. So I'm down. And it's First Fridays.
What's that?
in Oakland.
Yeah.
Oh, but you guys wouldn't come on Friday.
Well, we went. It depends. I could take the day off if I knew by Wednesday or Thursday. Ideally Wednesday.
That's why you said that, huh? So
Yeah,
that
because
would
with
be
my
there.
company, you have to give at least a 48-hour notice that you're taking the day off.
All right.
Okay.
Well, then we'll figure it out, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, you're either gonna have a special guest here, or it'll be on location
Mm-hmm.
out of the
Dun-dun-dun,
thing
dun-dun-dun.
podcast. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 35 of the None of Our Business podcast
Hey,
with your hosts, Filthy,
toasties.
Keeney, and Joe.
I had a new lead. I don't know where it was. Nice. That's so awesome. I have to practice this. I have to practice more of
God
that.
damn it, Keenan.
Eat your woman out.
Suck your man's dick.
Vote for me.